who had like the 3 goals with the cross? It was the Netherlands yesterday, or who did they play? The Nether.
Netherlands versus U.S. and it was the fuck that footer's
England.
name Jeffrey or
England versus
England
Senegal.
England England versus Senegal. Senegal
Yeah, I
in the
think
first
it was
half.
What's up,
England
everybody?
that had those
Senegal
nice ass crosses. It's like,
Senegal in the first half had some hella good chances, bro. Hella good chances. And people don't realize, bro, you score one goal, it just completely changes the mindset of the other team. It's like a sucker punch. Dude, just US had that wide open chance in the beginning from Pulisic, that left-footed shot. He went lower corner, and the keeper made a hella good save. I'm like, bro, it just takes one goal. Just flip the script a little bit.
that's the problem. That's the
Okay.
only person they got to take shots, bro. No one wants to shoot, and they got Weah, but it's like, dude, we need someone else to
Get a number
score.
one, bro. We don't got that. We can go. Let's go, Mike.
Yeah, no, we're good to go. Let's see. Sean, can you talk real quick, please?
Yeah, tuck.
Okay.
Cuckoo,
And then Mark.
Yo, yo, yo.
Okay, cool.
You guys can't hear
Habla.
Grandpa's TV, can you?
No, I can't hear it. And it's funny,
Okay,
like
good.
now that I'm back in the garage, I can't really hear any staticky, huh?
Nah, it sounds perfect.
I mean,
It sounds like wonderful. Grandpa's listening to some weird ass shit, like Irish music on the Portuguese channel.
Wait, what?
He's watching the Portuguese channel, and all I hear is like Irish music. Swear to God,
I'm shipping
Can't
off
make
to
it up.
Boston, yeah. I'm shipping off to find my last lady.
I know. Start tomorrow, bro. Fuck.
So weird. It was hella choppy, like I was telling you guys. And as soon as I unplugged my phone out of because I plugged my phone into the computer just so it can charge. And as soon as I unplug it, now it seems to be okay.
Nice.
It's like, really, is it really taking up that like some CPU or whatever the hell? I'm not a freaking tech guy. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to record episode 169. Hope everyone has had a great Monday so far, a great weekend. If we haven't seen you in the last couple weeks, great Thanksgiving.
No doubt.
It's not too cold just yet. It's not almost 10 o'clock here, so let's get it started. Okay. Been freaking getting over like stuffiness and cough and shit the last couple days.
Better now.
Yeah, it's getting better. And it'll probably linger for the next couple weeks, you know.
Would you like to let it linger?
Do you have to let it linger? Oh man, what a classic. R.I.P.
Who is that?
The Cranberries,
or
bro.
some shit? Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's the one thing, bro. I'll admit. That's the one thing. Like, I'll get stumped on movies and crap, but when it comes to music, I'm pretty decent with music.
So
I probably know a lot more music than like the movies and crap.
Sean, I know you like that video that I sent you about the music.
Oh,
the best. I forgot who this was. I think he's like a comedian.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's
a comedian from New York.
I can't think what his name. I can't think what his name is either. And it's funny because when you sent that, I started thinking about randomly halftime of the Argentina-Australia game when they were doing like a little segment on Australia. What song did they play? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, dude, I lost it, bro. ESPN was blasting it.
Anyways, it was a video, Mark. I sent it to you on IG, but you know, yeah, you're not there anymore. It was. They were like, "Oh, so what do you think about like today's rap?" And he's like, "Garbage" in his New York accent. Garbage. You know, he got Lil Yachty, Lil Nas X, Lil fucking, and he was
Little fuck
and
boy,
he was like
little
he was like
jabroni.
Island Boys, Tekashi 6ix9ine. Shit, those motherfuckers are like Tim Burton Batman villains. Like they're more like Tim Burton Batman villains. He goes, if you put those guys up against the guys from my generation, the 90s, the Biggie, the Nas,
Pac.
the Tupac, Jay-Z, you know, Jadakiss, and Lil L, like all those guys, it'd be like the 92 Dream Team versus the Special Olympics.
It was hella funny. I lost it.
It's true though. You would like think of all the little fucking Xanax and all those. They suck.
Xanax.
Little Xan.
Dude, it's
Come on
true, bro. Little dumb fucks, bro. And this like young generation be like empowering it, like fuck yeah, like dance. I mean,
half of those comments have to be like trolling. Like, what are you talking about? He's hella better than Tupac. They have to be trolling, bro. They have to.
So, bro. It's like, I don't know. Our rappers like weren't like that. We had like Nelly, like fucking
but
like P Diddy,
right.
like, but then they weren't like looking like fucking pill popping, like druggy ass dumb motherfuckers.
And we also didn't
bro.
say that they were better than Biggie or Tupac or Jay-Z, right?
We liked them all. They're all hella
we liked
good.
Lil Jon. We liked fucking
Ludacris.
Yin Yang Twins, Ludacris, but we knew that they weren't as good as like Eminem or other people like that.
This generation, bro, like, oh my god, dude, I straight up, I lose my mind with how much I fucking hate music now.
Don't say anything because they're either going to sue you or something or cancel you.
I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
Have a cancel campaign on you.
They're hella bad.
Okay,
right
so
now.
for all of you, Gen Zs out there listening, we love you. Just your music sucks.
That's hella funny that you said that. I just seen like a not a survey but like a graphic. It was like a what is it? Numbers. Yeah. And it said the Gen Z's most popular brand. Guess what number 1 was?
TikTok.
Number 2, Discord. Number 3.
Okay.
Number 3 was like Snapchat. Instagram was
Snapchat
4.
Still. Damn.
We what's that one that you pay? Cash App was like 5.
Yeah.
Like TikTok is really Gen Zers' number 1 brand. That's a problem. That's a problem.
Brand? Like ours would have been like Nike, right? Or something like that, like when we were growing up.
Maybe, I don't know, or
like Echo, like
Fubu,
right? For you by you.
Tamagotchi. Come on, bro.
Okay, we need to get this started because we should have this conversation on the podcast. Fuck. All right.
Echo was
cool, man. Or if you wanted to get the expensive, you got the cut and sew. I had a zip up jacket, cut and sew. Remember that jacket, Sean? I found.
How about Jabos? Jabot jeans. Come on, bro.
I found that jacket with like you, Cody, Steve at like it was
Kansas City at a freaking TJ
No,
Maxx.
that was the Raider. Like members only jacket. No, this was the
That's hella dope.
This was at the mall in San Jose, and it was like Black Friday. And we were like, yeah, fuck it, we're just going to the mall and stuff. I was like, oh, this is a cool, like, let's go Echo store. And all of a sudden it was like, this is usually like $80, but today it's $35. I was like, oh, shit. And I had it for years.
Snatch and grab.
Had it for years. Okay, episode 160.
Is this 169?
169. Damn, she fine.
169. Favorite name,
favorite
number,
position.
favorite position.
Favorite number.
Hey,
favorite position. Right StuFinder.com. Sean, you have to, you don't have to get on the whole platform because ain't nobody got time for that, but like I think Thursdays or Fridays, go on Barstool Sports, like their page, right? You know how they have tons of shit, but just watch like the half an hour to 40-minute video every week, Sports Advisors. You'll fucking laugh your ass off for that. Oh my, like the guy Stu Feiner, he's fucking wild.
I got more than enough time.
Yeah. So Sports Advisors. I think you have to like subscribe to like. It's usually like $80, but today it's $35. Okay. All right, 169. Nice. Okay, so everybody be silent. Let's get 10 seconds of silence in 3, 2, and 1. What is up? What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another issue of the Comic Bookies podcast. Episode 169 starts now live on YouTube on Monday, December 5th, 2022. But wherever you're listening to it, we appreciate that as well. This week, we're colliding the worlds of sports and comics as usual. In sports, the World Cup is into the round of 16. USA's out. My Polish are out. So who's going to win? Is it Portugal, Brazil, Spain? Who's it going to be? We will discuss. College football, the Final Four has now been set. My Trojans suck, and we will not be playing for a national championship. Week 13 of the NFL is over, and Week 14 is here. We also discussed going this... Week 13 is over, and we go into Week 14 of the NFL. And in comics, we have plenty of books to talk about. DC, Boom Studios, Image, and even IDW. And in news, The Flash gets a better release date. Black Panther... God damn it. And in news, The Flash gets a better release date. Black Panther Wakanda Forever wins a 4th straight weekend. And we say goodbye to Kirstie Alley and happy birthday to the late, great Walt Disney. But come join us for episode 169. Let's have some fun. Let's go and do this.
Shoot, dude,
All right.
impressive.
Hello to all of our viewers out there. Just
What?
taking our sweet ass time as
Guys?
usual. Once Mark comes back on camera, we'll continue. Because I don't know if he's taking a shit or.
Yeah, we'll shoot through it. We'll be having a good one today. I need my beauty sleep.
Would you like to?
I was just singing it. You have to let it linger. All right. Okay, cool. So after the class,
We already got the name of the episode.
Oh, it's already typed in.
That fast, huh?
Sean, so after the class I took, as far as like communication and like meetings and everything is like online, me and Mark tried to do this this week. So try it if you like when you're talking to us, like don't look at us on Skype, but like try to look at your camera because it's more like engaging to people who are watching, right?
That fool looks like he's in the studio or something right now, late night.
He's doing like the old
talk about those rappers.
Yeah, I'm doing photos.
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
doing what's it called? He's developing photos
I know.
in the black room.
Yeah.
He's like,
Isn't
what?
it crazy?
Wait, hold on. This guy's the killer? What? He's like developing. He's like hanging it up.
Right.
Wait, she was there? Dun dun. And then dun dun. Like fucking Law and Order. Okay.
Imagine they don't even have that class in high school anymore. Sad.
I took digital photography. It was in the classroom that had like the black room or whatever it's called, the red room or whatever. It had the room, but we did digital. So
I mean, why would you want like all that old school anyway? I mean, I wish I could have took a digital class anyway. You can do so much more.
I mean, today with all the hipsters and stuff, you'd think that they'd want like, oh my god, it's so nostalgic. I feel like I'm. I'm like
some cats would.
Right.
Guarantee.
Oh my god, you want to take like fucking 10 times longer to develop this photo? Yeah,
like some wine,
dude. This is fucking bussin'. Oh my god.
Oh,
I love developing photos like this on God. Have you seen that guy on fucking Instagram? Where it's like him and it's like a green screen behind him. He's like in a fucking department store, and then it's like me trying to shop for some jeans around some Gen Zers, and he's like, what the fuck? And it's you can't see the people, but it's like, oh my god, these fucking jeans are bussin'. These are like, oh my god, you gotta cop those on God, yeah. It's like so funny.
Those are straight bussin'.
Those are straight bussin'.
I had a field day with that.
All right. Let's go back live in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 169 of the Comic Bookies podcast. I am here with Mark and Sean. All three of us are back for episode 169. Thank you so much for joining us. We are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. You know what? We've been doing this on Mondays, and I'm like, you know what? I've been screwing this up. But Wednesday, December 7th, 2022 is New Comic Book Day, so go and see Alex. He's open Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. He'll get you whatever you need, new and old, but either way, go and get your comic books. Mark, Sean, it's a pleasure to have you all back. It's a pleasure to have Sean back from his vacation from Disneyland, episode 169. I would love to start with your review of your couple days in the happiest place on earth, because we will be talking about Walt Disney later on in the show.
Well, happy to be here, episode 169, like Mike said, here with the guys. Nice little Monday night. Oh, man, it was a good time. Kaysen's first time there. And most importantly, we got a picture with Minnie and Mickey with Kaysen, and he loved the characters. He had like a time where he kind of turned to get into Mom's shoulder, but he enjoyed it. Took a picture. Also got Goofy and Pluto, but yeah, everything was good, man. The lines weren't that bad. We did the rope drop the first day. We got into 3 rides in the first hour and a half, so that was actually a good win. And yeah, the longest wait I think we had was Rise of the Resistance, which was justified. We had the wait they said was like 60 minutes. We actually timed it, ended up being like 40 minutes, which wasn't terrible. And that ride really was fun. Oh, bro, that ride was different. That ride was different. It was
it
awesome.
your first time?
Loved it. First time.
Oh, dude, it's so orgasmic. It's so cool.
Oh, bro, it's different. It was the best. And then we actually ate in the restaurant that's in right next to Rise of the Resistance. Well, actually not right next, but on the outside over there. Actually, kind of by Smugglers. There's a Star Wars restaurant type of thing over there. So we ate over there, got a little pasta, a little beef in there, like an avocado zest sauce that was on it. Hella good.
Okay.
Marissa got the blue milk. I got the green one actually this time. Green was actually really good.
Yeah, they're not too bad. It's
they're
it's
cool.
different. I've had the blue milk. I tried that the first time.
They're different. And then we also went to California, duh. And yeah, we got to go on Cars ride. We must have went at like the freaking jackpot hour. We went on twice in 20 minutes.
Did they make you get off the ride and you just went right back in line?
You had to get off and go
okay.
right back in line. We did use a child swap a number of times, which obviously worked good with Kaysen. Oh, it's the best thing ever made. And you can go up to 3 people. So yeah, it worked out really good. And yeah, just overall, I mean, family trip was awesome, man. The hotel was like a 10-minute walk, no more than a 10-minute walk. That good old Suncoast Inn in Anaheim was awesome.
That's like one of those ones, a murder down in Anaheim next to the Suncoast Inn.
It was nice though, bro. That's the thing, bro. It was actually really nice. I was like, hold on, Getaway Today came through with the price and everything was nice and smooth. I'm like, I hope this hotel's half decent, bro. It was freaking nice. It was actually like really, really good. And yeah, I mean, I don't even know what else to say, bro. We had our Roscoe's, had our Joe's, ice cream, Downtown Disney Monday night, Tortilla Joe's, of course, had some beignets. Oh, it was just good, man. Like, I don't know. Disneyland, I felt like a kid again. Shoot, I haven't gone since before the pandemic, and I actually get to bring my little one, so it just hit different,
Did
bro.
you do Web Slingers?
Oh, Web Slingers, come on now, I dominated that one.
That one's pretty cool. I would say out of the 3 rides that you have to pay the separate lightning lane, it's the worst. I'd probably say.
So you had to pay to go on it?
No, for the lightning lane.
For the lightning, yeah.
So Rise of the Resistance, Web Slingers, and then the Cars ride are the 3 rides that even if you get the Genie Plus, you still have to pay an extra between $7 and $20 just to get the lightning lane. So I would probably say that's the worst one that you out of the 3 that you have to pay individual lightning lane.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely, it for sure was. The one thing that I did like, we watched the fireworks show, which of course was super cool. I love that, Mark, too. I feel like I'm in the studio. But
it's clean.
But the super cool thing that they did also was kind of have the dark looking lights on Main Street with the snow coming down right after the fireworks show, and they were playing like Christmas songs.
Oh, yeah.
It was Kaysen went crazy. He went crazy. It was good, man. I was just a kid, bro. I was a kid over there, man.
So other things that you ate, did you do a Dole Whip?
I did Dole Whip, yes.
What about like the
churros, popcorn? The thing is, with us being in such a big group, believe it or not, you'll probably be a little bit disappointed. I mean, it was 2 days in Disneyland. It wasn't 3 or 4.
Right.
We didn't do too many sit-down restaurants on purpose, just because we had a bigger group. And just with the 2 days, like with Kaysen, it was really just honestly a lot of just pick up and go food.
A lot of quick service stuff.
It had to be, man. I mean, we did have freaking Pizza Planet for the sake of Kaysen, and he had his cool little Pizza Planet shirt, and he had a little bit of pizza with us too. So like small things like that, like grab this, grab that. But we tried a lot of different things, so I was actually cool with that. I liked it.
It's funny too, because Tomorrowland, you would think that it's like some extravagant land, and for me, like Tomorrowland's arguably one of the worst because it's like has Space Mountain, and unfortunately for me, that Pizza Planet is like one of the worst foods that they have there. It's like, oh
yeah,
man.
I thought it was Friday pizza in elementary school.
I know. I thought it was Tony's cheese pizza over there. I mean, Bunker Elementary.
Exactly, it's good. It's pizza. Like you and I, we aren't the biggest critics, but just when you put it in retrospect of like other foods that they have there, it's kind of like it's cheese pizza or pepperoni pizza. There isn't much to it.
Right.
But no, I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, so you got there just in time. They're going to be shutting down Web Slingers for some maintenance pretty soon. They're going to be closing. Yes. We just heard that Splash Mountain is closing in January because they're going to redo it from Song of the South and twisting it up into Tiana in Prince and the Frog. And then you said something else is shutting down.
Yeah, Indiana Jones
Oh
is shutting
shit.
down. I don't know the exact date, but I think it could be within the month. And they said it could be up to a couple months because of refurbishments. I did say it right this time. And I think they're going to add a couple of themes and extra
Right.
things within the ride. But yeah, I mean, in Toontown, I know that pushed out, I think, an extra month or two from what their
Yeah,
expected
March now.
completion date was going to be. So yeah, I mean, it sucks because all the money that people pay and you got to deal with that kind of crap. But when you're there, man, there is always something to do. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, glad you had fun. Glad you're back. Let's get into the.
Yes.
Well, actually, Mark, how are you, sir? Don't mean to.
I was just
Don't
gonna say
mean to.
hi.
Hi.
like,
How are
I'm
you?
here.
Hello. I'm
I'm
here.
still. To all the comic booky fans out there. Yes, comic booky Mark is still alive and well here on 169. Been good,
Oh,
man. Nice to have you guys back. Nice to have Sean back. Glad you enjoyed your trip. As you guys can see, man, our host here at the Comic Bookies podcast, he just absolutely loves Disney. So when one of us goes there, including himself, man, it's just first talk. So
Can spend.
glad to get
We could do 2 episodes this week. 169 is Disney. 170 is the actually sports and
oh,
comics.
man. That's
There's
right.
been a
That's right.
lot of, I mean, there's been a lot of things going on with Disney lately, honestly, with the whole CEO and just everything with the earnings call and them losing the money and the subscriptions and the Disney Plus and comic bookie Sean going there and everything. So Disney has had a lot of news coming down the pipeline.
Another
So
one of their senior advisors actually left today, 17 years. Can't think what her name was, but it's just kind of, I mean, they actually posted it on Instagram, so it must have been important enough to show it. So, and then just might as well add it to the list of things going on. It ain't stopping us from going, but hey.
and of course, with today being Mr. Walt Disney, how old was he going to be? Mike?
Shit.
Not sure if he would have.
Continue with how your week's going, and then I'll get you that stat.
Well, my week has been going good. Hopefully, it can be going a little bit better tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard if Portugal can get the win over Switzerland. I know World Cup talk is going to be big on 169 today. But yeah,
Mr.
I mean,
Walt Disney was born in 1901.
01. He would have been 122, 121 years old.
121 years
Man.
old.
so
Pioneer right
121 years old. So Jesus, so see, he made Disney at 21 years old because it's turning 100 next year. Jesus.
how
Easy.
old?
22.
How old was he when he died? Like 50
65.
something
65.
or 60? He was young, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Yeah, he died only like 11 years after Disneyland opened. He didn't even get to see Disney World open. They were in the middle. They were in the middle of finding the land and stuff for Disney World in Florida, but he never even saw it. Maybe break ground, but not finish, because I believe it was 1971. I think they just celebrated their 50th year anniversary last year, so he was 5 years away from even seeing Disney World in Florida.
Walt Disney reminds me somewhat of it was like Steve Jobs. Obviously he was there to bring Apple back, and he was there for a big part of it and mostly all of its life, but he wasn't really there to like reap the benefits and like the rewards
Fruits
of
of
the
his labor.
fame and huh?
The fruits of his labor.
And the
basically.
three, I mean, they're like 3 trillion. They're like the biggest company in the world. And it's like, man, I wish he could have like still been alive to see like what everything that he done like amounted to really, It's kind of like Walt Disney, although it's just he didn't get to see, he got obviously Disneyland, but not Disney World. But I'm pretty sure he knew how big he was by then. And I'm sure Steve Jobs did too. But man, some of these guys, and then you got guys like Warren Buffett, like 91, and his counterpart, I forgot his name right now, but I think he's even older. He's like 96. Charlie Munger, he's like 96 or 97 or something. These dudes are still giving speeches at annual events, and I'm like, it's wild.
Isn't Warren Buffett? I think I saw the HBO documentary on him. Isn't he the one who goes to like McDonald's every morning still?
McDonald's.
Yeah,
McDonald's every morning.
that's pretty cool.
Warren Buffett's the truth.
Yeah, well, shoot, man, let's get into it, man. So, well,
Still it.
how's December treating you guys so far? You guys got any lights up on the house or any tree? You guys get the tree yet? I know it's
The
only
inside is done. Yeah, Marissa,
Trees
she
are
did.
up.
Yeah.
Trees up. Marissa did a deep dive into getting the lights and decorations going in the house. We got lights to put outside, but it's just, man, we've been freaking busy. And then Kaysen's birthday coming up this weekend, his party. So
right.
just
His birthday's
man,
on like Thursday.
it's on Thursday, bro.
Birthday party on
Little
Saturday.
guy turns 1.
Right. We got some B days this month.
Crazy,
My daughter,
man.
your son, Walt Disney. We got a bunch. Jesus.
my niece on Wednesday.
Alicia.
Right, nice. It's a celebration. Well, it looks like Hurricane Ian just went through my garage. It's unbelievable. All this shit has to come down. You know, all the plastic bins and stuff. Oh God, I'm looking around and it's like, can we stop recording and I can clean, please? All right, let's get into it, man. So sports and comics. We're doing sports this week first. The World Cup. So now a collective sigh of relief. All Americans across the country can now go back to not giving a shit about the World Cup in soccer, right, guys? We were talking over text for a little bit over the last couple of days. So, yeah, the USA, unfortunately, they get off to a horrible start, and I think they go down 2-0 early to the Netherlands, and at that point, I just went to sleep because I had just gotten home from work. So, yeah, they lose 3-1, and Poland actually loses also. They lose 3-1 also against France. I believe it was
3-1 or 3-0.
Yeah,
it was 3-1.
I believe it was 3-1. So, so it was 3 days in a row when we were like, okay, cool, one down, we're in. Like USA was in, and then Poland had the crazy day where it was they lost 2-0 to Argentina, and Mexico won 2-0 against Saudi Arabia, but then Mexico couldn't score another goal, or Argentina couldn't score another goal, because at that point, the fair play points, Mexico had 2 extra yellow cards against them. So that's what was propelling Poland into the round of 16. And then sure enough, I think stoppage time or towards the end of the game, Saudi Arabia nets one, which, pretty much solidifies Poland in. But they lose already too, so we've already had 2 out of our 3 teams go into the round of 16 and are already out. Portugal is in the round of 16 playing in 2 days, right? Or is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Nice.
The 6th.
Nice.
At 11 o'clock, man.
Yeah, so you guys want to talk about the previous games or what's coming up? Go ahead, man. Let's talk a little World Cup. It's kind of a short segment here with sports this week.
It's been, I think, everything we expected in the second round in terms of, the favorites were pretty much dominating. That's what it is in the World Cup, man. There was some excitement in the first round. And I know it's, the first game, second game of group play. You have 3 games, so it's really easy to kind of catch yourself slipping. You get that Saudi Arabia over Argentina. You get that Japan over Germany. You get some games like that. But once you get into the knockout stage, that's when, everyone starts tightening up a little bit, and France beat Poland, the FOMO goes to the top. It kind of should have happened. USA, the end me, we can win. We should win. Shouldn't have won that game, man. At the end of the day, playing Netherlands, it's almost like Vin Diesel says, you never had a chance. You never had your car.
You never had your car.
And I hate to say that. But it's just like, even today, Brazil just blew the freaking roof off of freaking South Korea.
That freaking penalty, bro. Come on.
You
guys saw
that was
that.
An unlucky one.
He wasn't even looking. It's like he was looking back at the guy and wanting to then kick him. He was literally trying to clear the ball, and then he gets behind. He comes up from behind him and saying, "Ooh, I want to steal that ball you're trying to kick."
Sucks.
And so in the follow through, you just kick the back of his Achilles or his. Come on, man.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even the biggest thing I was pissed off about just today. You know what I'm pissed off about today? This is the freaking PKs having to decide the freaking game you move on. I know it's been a rule for 100 years, or whatever, but damn, man, they gotta change. They gotta change something.
The thing is, with changing that, you have to change multiple things. That's just what it has to be.
Right.
Because in soccer, you have to change the subs thing. That's what it comes down to.
Right.
Because the thing is, the quality gets so bad when there's no legs, and I know Mark would agree with that, and he sees it too. I mean, we all see it. When these guys run overtime, they can't run. They're freaking kicking balls left to right, and it's just like, dude, there's no point in even have the game going on anymore. Right. You're just going to risk getting freaking hurt.
Right. No, I understand that. And then I also think to myself, the rest of the world and FIFA are not going to want to cater to just the United States to get soccer itself or USA soccer more popular in the United States by changing pretty much half the sport, right? Just changing it drastically. We're only doing it for America. Screw you. They're okay with it being a Brazilian sport, a European sport, an Asian sport. They're okay with keeping soccer as one of their own, right?
That's their sport. You know,
So
we have too many other sports to care
so
about.
it's unfortunate. It's you know.
And it was unfortunate, honestly, for Japan to get that, that draw, obviously going to PKs, because in my opinion, I felt like Japan played way too good of a game to just have it end like
Right.
that, right? To
They
just,
played hella
I mean,
good.
you played your hearts out. I've been saying this since the preview show that we had for this, for the World Cup, and I mentioned like those Japanese, man, they're tactical, they're quick, they're good. They got a low center of gravity. They'll beat you. They'll make you think twice, and man, I really thought they had a chance. I think no Asian team has ever advanced to the quarterfinals, if I'm not mistaken. I thought that they could have had a chance with the Croatian team that's getting a little bit older here, with Modric and Perisic, and a lot of those players getting a little bit older. I think that Japan, although with them having some older players as well, I think that they had a chance. And just when you go and you miss those two penalties right off the bat, I mean, your first two, it's kind of like you can pretty much kiss it goodbye. It's like scoring 5 or 6 in the top of the first inning,
Well,
right?
You said lower center of gravity. You know, it was also lower was their penalty attempts. They were on the
Dude, they're
ground.
terrible shots.
Like you
They're
even said it, Sean.
terrible
Like,
shots.
can we get some air under these balls? Like, what the hell's going on?
You had to blast it to a corner, bro. You're a professional. I mean, I'll say this. When you kick a friggin' penalty shot, that goal, it shrinks when you have a goalkeeper in there, especially a professional. But and it's harder than a free throw. I will stand. You actually have someone who can block the shot, but you're still a professional. I mean, what Mike said, they were just basically passing it to the damn goalkeeper.
Right.
Like when you see those Croatians, they were blasting that ball. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they left no
They
doubt.
didn't-
You know, like if it was like I think one of them got saved, right? But he left no like he hammered it.
But it was a good shot. It was a good save. Like the
Right.
Croatian keeper saved it, but like it didn't take much to save
I
it.
think
You
I
just
could've
guessed
saved
the
it.
right way. I don't
But
know.
I will give credit to one of my follows on Twitter, which he's like a show in stadium show host over there at the San Jose Earthquakes game, and he's
Nice.
Portuguese as well. And I started following him, and he actually said this right before like they were about to go to PKs, and I'm like quoting his tweet. He said, "I'm afraid for Japan if this gets to PKs, not the best spot shooters and lack the spot kick / pressure experience.
You've
Croatia
seen
has
it.
played through extra times and PKs and major tourneys for years. Guess we'll see. I think Japan should go for it now before the PKs." And man, boy was spot
Hit it on
on.
the head.
Hit the nail right on
Was
the
it
head,
the Euro
man.
Cup or
Because
was it the last World Cup that they were in the finals? Croatia
Their last World Cup.
they lost to France in the final.
right finals. So I mean,
2018.
of course, yeah, experience. Hell yeah.
It's a damn good Croatian team. It's the same team as freaking pretty much the last World Cup. And I
Yeah,
guess
it is.
the theme that we're seeing now, I think me and Mark are just hoping it continues tomorrow and the favorites win. I mean, the focus is on Portugal tomorrow, man. I mean, hopefully we get a Morocco upset. I mean, that's the only thing I would want because that'd be just good for soccer. But
Man, they did win the group. Morocco won the group, 7 points.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, Morocco, they actually only conceded 1 goal, and it was an own goal. I think I forgot who it was, but they're playing really good. They won the group, and I'm actually scared for Morocco. I know they're going to be the underdogs, but I mean, from what I see in soccer, I mean, obviously, I think Spain is obviously probably going to take it, especially if it gets down to PKs as well. They're one of those teams that are very seasoned in those type of situations. But man, in my eyes, I don't think it's going to be that much of an upset if Morocco wins.
they're good. They're good. No, and I'm with you on that, bro. They got
and you
some
think-
good world-class players. They're good.
They're literally like neighbors with Spain. The Strait of Gibraltar's right there. Portugal, Spain, Morocco. All those teams are kind
Look
of
at you, Mr.
right
Geography.
Damn,
Gibraltar.
I was like,
Look
hold
at
on,
that.
Mark. You need to pull up my map, jam.
there.
I think Mark
it's
has
true.
the map open right now. I can
No,
see in the
no, I
reflection
swear.
of his glasses.
The glare.
The reason I know so much about Morocco, for one, our guy from New York, Frenchie Montana, I think is Moroccan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And number two, I remember when I went out to Portugal, when I went out to Portugal in 2006 and I was out there, someone was telling me that that's where a lot of the hash comes from. It like comes up through like Morocco and whatnot, and it goes up into Spain and Portugal. And I was like, oh, and then I looked at Morocco. I'm like, oh, it's right there. Literally, it's right south of Spain.
And
So
you know what about Morocco?
Morocco
It's true too. Like we wouldn't like if we go back and they beat Spain, we shouldn't be too surprised. They were scoreless against Croatia. They beat Belgium 2-0, and then they gave up the own goal against Canada. They won that game 2-1. So I mean,
That should have been a
that
shutout too.
that's the game that they
Yeah.
gave up. Thank you, Mike.
So I mean, Mark, you're right.
And Canada had so many high hopes coming into this
Right. They're
World
only
Cup,
one of
like
two
I
teams
mentioned
with
last
0
week.
points.
And dude, and with Qatar, right? And what, like the other thing that I'm trying to say is, like they were saying that Canada probably even had a better chance to advance farther than the U.S. in this World Cup. Guys could barely couldn't score
Dude,
a goal, man.
No, they dominated qualifications.
The qualifying,
That's why they gave up
yes.
the least amount of goals. They scored the most amount of goals. But when you're also going against some of those teams that we qualify against, like you do have, your U.S., Mexico, Canada. You also got your TNT. You got your, El Salvador. No offense, but the teams that are just really not world class as strong as others. But I don't know, man. Too much time spent on Canada.
Do you see Liverpool's substitute midfielder Shaqiri, or that guy? I think he used to be on Arsenal. Shaka.
No, it's Shaqiri and Shaka.
No, and Shaka, or there's you see them. You see any of them being able to score on Portugal or maybe threaten? I think Portugal has.
Was Shaqiri the one? I think it was either World Cup last time or they were in a group stage with Poland, and Shaqiri had like a nice ass like bicycle kick goal against Poland. It was so nice. I was like, oh shit.
Shaqiri, he's their most creative player. He's just one of those. His shirt's always a little smaller than it should be. A little short, stubby guy, and nice left foot. But no, it's going to be a tough game for Portugal. I mean, I said earlier, I think we can win comfortably. But with that being said, it's going to be one of those that we have to be on our game.
Right.
I mean, you're in the freaking knockout stage now. Switzerland's not going to be no freaking pushover. I think we have the better roster. I think we're going to win. I'm very confident in it. But no, you can't sleep on these guys, man. They're here for a reason.
Yeah.
So
I want to cut in real quick. Aaron says, let me get a Raiders one time, fellas. Raiders.
Hey,
That's how I
man.
feel.
Different football, but Raiders. Let's see what happens.
We'll get there shortly, dog.
Yeah.
So before we get into a couple odds here, we already know who the favorite is, them getting that 4-1 win. But what do you guys think about these matchups coming up for the quarterfinals that are already set? What do you guys think about Netherlands, Argentina? I think that's going to be good with Messi and Van Dijk over there trying to.
I wouldn't be surprised if Argentina fell backwards. That's how they played against Iran, Saudi Arabia, Iran. Saudi Arabia, right? And they slip up and they lose to the Netherlands because the Netherlands look.
I think Netherlands gonna win that
the
game.
Netherlands look really good against the United States, and I don't know what time it's at. I hope it's probably during the freaking work week this week. But I really want to watch that France and England game because England's been playing really well, but France is probably one of the top two favorites to win the whole thing with Brazil, I'd say.
I'm going double underdog in those games too.
Wow.
I like Netherlands and I like England, dude. I love Bellingham, that young midfielder from Borussia Dortmund. That guy's the next big thing. And what you said, Rashford is scoring goals left and right. You still got Kane waiting to get started. No,
I'm surprised Sterling. He's been abysmal, kind of. Sterling has not been it for them.
He adds a little pace to the flank and stuff, and he's an old player. That's the thing. They're playing so good, and he hasn't even really got started yet. They got Saka over there too. So if they're all clicking, man, it's yeah. Mike, you a damn fool.
Saka.
Oh shit.
And those are the only two that's set right now, right?
Yes.
Or no?
No,
because Brazil and Croatia.
Brazil already has theirs too. Yeah, it is Brazil.
Okay,
Croatia.
so Brazil, Croatia.
Brazil by the blow the doors off that too.
Yeah, probably. And then Portugal. Hopefully, I mean, if it's favorites, to be Portugal versus Spain. So going forward, I know we all hate to do that. Like, oh, if we win this, what do you guys think your chances are against Spain if indeed Portugal and Spain are victorious tomorrow?
We can beat them for sure. We can beat them. The thing is, with Portugal, I think sometimes we just freaking like lose concentration sometimes, especially Spain's one of those possession teams. They want to pass, and it's just you gotta stay focused. Everyone has to do their job. I think we can beat them. Where I think we're gonna just face a lot of challenges is if we get to that possible France matchup, but that France matchup may just as well be as an England matchup. So
Portugal and Spain tied in the 2018 World Cup in the opening match 3-3. I personally, in my opinion, not that I'm a homer or whatnot, but I think that Portugal has probably gotten a little bit better and Spain might have gotten a little bit worse or lost a little bit. I mean, they're getting older as well. I think Portugal is gelling more now. I think Felix getting in the mix with those young legs being a lot better. I think that Portugal got a pretty good chance against Spain, probably more than I would have thought in previous years.
I love that, bro. You said it right, man. I think, Spain, they were old in 2018, slowly getting the transition from the Sergio Ramos and all those guys. And their team now, like they have some of those old vets still, like your Sergio Busquets, Morata, but they also have super, super young guys on that team. So
Thiago's not there.
Thiago,
He's out, so
they're either.
That's big. That's big for them because he's a good midfielder. I mean, I see him play at Liverpool every weekend, so him being out.
You know who else tied Portugal in the group stage in the 2014 World Cup? United States. United States.
USA.
Shout out Maui Brewing Company with the best fucking bar top in the fucking game. The whole bar top, you had the wood, right? You sit at the bar, had your wood, and then right where they serve you your glass of beer, the other half of it was a whole big strip of ice. So you put your glass on that strip of ice and it keeps it cold. Amazing.
I can't think what the hell
there was
the goal scorer.
The whole bar area was full of like 50 to 70 USA fans, all on vacation in Maui at this restaurant to watch USA and Portugal.
I remember you were
and
there.
Because you're 3 hours even ahead of the Pacific Standard Time, it was at 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning. You just had 2 hours of people just drinking beer right buck crack ass of dawn in the morning. So good times. All right, so good luck to Portugal. Good luck to the rest of the teams. We will have, so by the time that we finish up, because are we going to have the quarterfinals already completed? Yes, the quarterfinals are the 9th and the 10th. So that would be Friday, Saturday. And then the semis is the 13th, 14th. So that would mean that we will record before the semifinals. So we will be down to 4 teams by the time that we record episode 170. So let's go.
And then 171, we will be talking about the World Cup champion. Hopefully it's Portugal.
Right, because the 18th is the final, which is on a Sunday. So the very next day we could have it'll be on a Sunday, the 18th.
I don't know what it is, but I just like the odds say it, the analysts say it, but they're just, Portugal is always like out of like the teams that are like European or like the ones that can be up there. I mean, like, Netherlands is ahead of them right now in odds. Belgium would have been. It's like, I feel like a lot of people
always are. We didn't get the love we get.
I mean, they've only really they proved the 2016 Euros, and I mean they got like a superstar in Ronaldo, but man, it's just they're like what 12-1, 10-1, 13-1, depends where you shop and what book you're looking at. But I thought Spain a lot better odds too when I just mentioned that I think they have a pretty good chance and Spain could have digressed this year. But man, Brazil, obviously your odds-on favorite with France, Argentina, England, kind of Spain, Netherlands. That's like your top right there. So I just wanted to give those out real quick.
I think the odds makers are looking at your text messages, Mark, because it seems like half the time that Portugal plays, you're complaining about them. Like, why do they do this? They do this, and that. They, and then all of a sudden they're going to give up some cheapo goal, right? They can't put one in. As I'm saying. So maybe they know something that they're also watching what you're watching.
I liked Carvalho, the change in the middle. I like how he played the ball and up the middle more, and I love that switch with Pepe with Ruben Diaz in the back. I think that the what do you call it? The veteran, right? Just them communicating with each other. I think that's a good change that Fernando Santos did. So we'll see. Yeah. Let's let's see what happens, man. Great footy talk with you guys.
Forza.
For sure. Let's move on to college football. Nothing to talk about here, so let's move on to NFL Week 13. No, I'm just kidding. USC, not a good showing. And I knew that, because we had the argument last week, Mark, about, why would these teams be punished by getting a chance to play an extra game? Like TCU is undefeated, right? If they lost, which they did, now they're one loss, same as Ohio State. Why would Ohio State be able to jump them? Why are they punished for playing another game, a championship game? Even though Ohio State's won losses against Michigan, like the number 2 team in the nation, it doesn't matter. Ohio State didn't even get a chance to play for the Big Ten championship. And you know what? It wasn't until the day of that I realized it was Purdue. It wasn't even Michigan State, Penn State, Wisconsin. Like, it was freaking Purdue. And it's funny, one of the guys at my work, he goes to Purdue, but of course online, and he wore his Purdue shirt and his hoodie, and he was like, yeah, fucking Boilermakers, and he's not even like a big football fan, but he was like, yeah, and I was like, go Blue, and he was like, fuck you.
So just so I understand that, actually, because I'm probably sounding like a dumbass, but just to confirm, obviously Michigan played versus Purdue,
right?
Ohio State one loss versus Michigan.
Right.
Why wouldn't Ohio State play Michigan in a championship?
Because they still have divisions.
Because they have divisions, the East and the West. Yes.
Yeah. So they're all jumped up in the division.
So they want to separate. They want to keep Ohio State and Michigan together because they know it'd be those two probably every freaking year.
Well, if you paid attention, Sean, Utah played USC in the championship. They didn't play Oregon. Why? Because the Pac-12 did away with divisions.
They did away with their divisions.
Yep.
So you get the 2 best teams, which is so much better.
It is better.
But then the best team with the best record gets screwed because they can't beat one certain team. So who was really the best team in the Pac-12?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, I think that had to do with, like, maybe if USC would have lost to another team, but with them playing that Pac-12 conference title game and then them losing to the exact same team that they only lost,
the way they lost
by 1 point in Utah in the middle of the season, and then they got pounded on a freaking neutral.
Right.
So
that's a problem though. 47 points.
It was just too many variables, in my opinion. Yeah. But you're right. It's like, you're totally right. But then again, they would have never made it. Yeah. They would have never been in the title game.
At this point, when you look at the Pac-12 game, when you look at the amount of games that I've seen this year that the Trojans play under Lincoln Riley, that defense, I've seen better tackling in the MVAL. Honestly. Like James Logan and Newark Memorial, see better freaking tackling there. So.
Well, where did he come from? The Big 12.
No, I know.
Big 12 is horrendous.
But he was also given Helton's defense, who was also, they were 4-8 last year, who gave up a boatload of points too. So just open up the transfer portal. Just let them all come in because they're
going
coming.
to Colorado now, though. They're going to Coach Prime.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys heard about that. That's another story.
They're going to Coach Prime.
No way.
Let's get into Prime in a little bit. Let's finish talking about these.
So anyway, now it's Georgia versus Ohio State, Michigan versus TCU.
And I was going to ask you guys about TCU. If you guys want to give your take, the line has been dropping, opened at about 9.5. We're down to about 7.5.
I don't like them. They've had a couple of close games these past handful of weeks. I don't know. I'm not really the biggest fan of TCU. But, it's true. The record speaks for itself.
I'm not. But if they have the slow start, if Michigan has a slow start like they did against Purdue, I would at least – that's a nice little half point right there. I would take that hook, TCU plus 7.5. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think.
So do I, Mike. I'm with you on that one. But TCU was also in the same predicament, Michael, that USC was, because TCU made that conference title game. But the only difference with them is they were undefeated going into it. If they would have had one loss like USC and then lost the way, obviously it was a closer game with Kansas State.
Then,
but they would have been.
Then Nick Saban would have gotten in. So we don't want that.
Thank you.
No, we don't want that.
So that's good. They were actually undefeated, TCU. And you know what? TCU, I know they haven't been playing anybody really. I know that they've been they've been facing like backup quarterbacks in a lot of these games, and I know that they, lost this game to Kansas State. But and I know their defense is that Big 12 defense, but people doubt them, and they've been that underdog all year. And am I big believer in Duggan. Obviously, he's a Heisman hopeful, which, we'll talk about that in a second too. But I think that, Sonny Dykes, we saw him with his air raid offense here at Cal with Jared Goff. So he's got the offense to do it. And it's just something, I guess, that, with them being the underdog, with Sonny Dykes being the coach, I guess I'm just kind of pulling for them, just why not? Just the underdog in the whole thing. People been doubting them. And I think, like you said, Mike, I think that they have the horses to somewhat hang. They just got to be able to make a couple stops on Michigan. What are your guys' thoughts?
I think it would make for a better national championship game if Michigan won. I think Michigan probably has the better chance of all three of the teams. Well, no, actually, I think that Ohio State and Michigan have the two better chances at Georgia. Obviously, Ohio State's playing Georgia in the first round, but if you're talking about just the 2 and the 3 seed, just for ratings-wise, the game-wise, overall team, offense and defense, special teams, just you look at the whole spectrum of the team, I think Georgia and Michigan is a better matchup than Georgia and TCU.
What if Ohio State beats Georgia and we're looking down the barrel of Ohio State and Michigan again?
That'd be fun. That'd be a fun game again, too.
What's the spread on that game? Do they have a early spread on Georgia and Ohio State?
Yeah, I mean, it's not early. It's already out. Let me get it for you. Sean, give your thoughts on TCU and whatnot.
I think Michigan's going to win that football game. Michigan's good. And I knew Michigan was good, but just watching them, especially the past especially from that Ohio State game on, they're just so strong. That running back, shoot, he should have been a Heisman hopeful. He's a freaking beast. And their defense, even the last game, God, their quarterback had 3 or 4 touchdowns. He had, I think, 3 touchdowns, I want to say. They were over 30 yards or 40 yards. And actually may have been the Ohio State game that they played. He showed that they're not just a running team also. So, yeah, I think that Michigan's going to win that football game. And I agree with the Mike that they're going to probably be the best matchup against Georgia, even though Georgia, they're different, man. They're good. They're strong. Their quarterback's 25 years old. So he's a aging veteran in the college football game, but we'll see, man.
Do we not?
It's just hard.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Sean, but do we not have? Wow, we don't have anything on New Year's Day. Oh wow, because it's a freaking Sunday.
It's a Sunday, so it's NFL.
Wow.
Yeah.
We don't have. So we have the Rose.
You got Raiders and Niners, baby.
Great.
Look at his
face.
You know what? You guys got Purdy and Carr.
Hey, you know what? We will get into it in a second, but that could be a spoiler, a season spoiler game. You know what I'm saying? As far as seeding's concerned for the Niners.
As long as we're up by 2 games, and us beating Seattle is the biggest thing. We win Seattle. We'll talk about it.
Right.
It's
so New Year's Eve at 1 p.m. we have TCU and Michigan in the Fiesta Bowl, and then Ohio State and Georgia play at 5 p.m. in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. So and then Tulane and USC these are all January 2nd. Tulane, USC in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Mississippi State, Illinois in the who cares about that one? The Weed Eater Bowl. The Cheez-It Citrus Bowl is LSU and Purdue, and then finally the Rose Bowl game, Penn State versus Utah. So
with Bryce Young sitting out for the draft. That Kansas State and Alabama game, it's the Sugar Bowl, right? That game is going to be fun.
Right, the Sugar Bowl. I think
Kansas State got a decent chance.
That's your wake up oh, good morning. It's New Year's Eve, 9 a.m. The All-State Sugar Bowl. That's right. Tennessee and Clemson in the Orange Bowl. That's not a bad game. That's on Friday the 30th at 5 p.m. So sit down, a little dinner. Yeah, that's good.
Some good games.
Yeah, definitely.
Iowa, Kentucky. Oh man, what's that score going to be?
I
14 to 11.
You know what? I do love that. I do love that. Because now that I'm at the age where I got 2 kids, married. I don't give a shit really about these New Year's parties and stuff. I don't know if my wife's planning anything for this year, but all day on New Year's Eve, just not worrying about having to, dress up and go out, drive somewhere, drink, and get home somehow. 9 a.m., 1 p.m., 5 p.m., fucking amazing. Amazing. And then you wake up the next day, and if you party hangover, you don't have to worry about missing any games. Because it's so many times, Sean, we've experienced it firsthand over at down at Alban Court. Waking up the next morning, we're just watching the Rose Parade, like, what the fuck did I do last night? You know, like we don't
Get
have to
some
do that
All-Star
anymore.
burger.
It's not like that anymore. So,
But isn't the Rose Bowl like at 2? Oh, the parade. Yeah,
Bro.
yeah.
have you been hungover in
parade
the
of-
last couple months or the last couple years since you've turned 30? It lasts like 3 or 4 days. Like, thank God that I have my schedule now to where like my weekends are 3 or 4 days, not just the 2 days. Because now I was at my old job where it was Monday through Friday, and I just got Saturday and Sunday. I still didn't feel 100% going in Monday morning unless I got like a boatload of sleep, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the worst with the
It's worse
kids,
when
too.
you're older.
Because the kids don't stop. The kids are up at 6 a.m., 6:30. You know, Dad, I want my toast. I want to watch fucking Toy Story. You know, unless you got to get
Big
up.
city greens, boy. Big city green.
Okay, so NFL Week 13 is in the books. Week 14 is now here. The Raiders
XIV. We're here.
stupidly get,
say-
hey, Mark, watch it. You know, we could have certain listeners, you know. Sean mentioned
On the other
right?
on the
You
other
know,
side.
Sean mentioned El Salvador earlier. Like, shh, quiet, dude, quiet.
Sorry.
I
was just-
I'm just kidding.
Just Roman numerals here,
Nothing
brother.
offensive.
We've seen our
It's like that meme, the Wheel of Fortune, where it says something be in the air tonight. Did you see it? It says love be in the air tonight, and then it's like if you look at it, it says F me in the A tonight. or
yeah.
whatever.
I have seen that.
And have you seen it? And it's like if you thought about this, the social media has messed you up.
Right.
That's
hella funny. Okay, so the Raiders stupidly get their third straight win of the third straight win, I believe.
Third.
The Niners are now up to 8-4. So how kind of lackluster they looked and kind of average, not in the defensive side, but the offensive side in the beginning part of the year. They're really starting to, churn the butter, so to speak. The running game, the defense finally gave up a point in the second half after the previous 4 giving up 0 points in the second half. An unbelievable defensive stat, by the way. But then no chance. Not saying no chance, but no chance of Jimmy G coming back as he has to have foot surgery, season-ending foot surgery. So Sean, get into the game against Miami, which is a formidable opponent in the AFC, and now going forward without Jimmy G. What are your thoughts, sir?
Miami went against a juggernaut defense. They went against a lot of teams that were scoring teams, so it was going to be a shootout every game, and they knew going to Levi's it wasn't going to be like that, and it kind of proved to, what I expected. We get pressure on Tua. I mean, again, what I said to you guys, we got lucky with a couple inaccurate passes from Tua, a little bit of missed timing. They did, of course, hit the monster Tyreek touchdown. Tyreek, I'm just going to throw it out there. He is a top 5, top 10 player in football. He is that good. He is that good. I don't care what no one says. I'm taking out of the personal opinion people may have of him. He is so damn good.
Yeah,
Who?
Tyreek.
Tyreek
Yeah,
Hill.
God.
he is
so damn good, and it's not even close. Like he's a beast.
Yeah, he's also a top 5 or 10 child beater too. I just want to throw that out there too. Yeah.
But you know what?
Piece of
I
shit.
take him on my football team, and you'd probably take him too.
I wouldn't want him on my football team. No,
You are tripping. If the Raiders pick them up right now,
No.
stop.
absolutely not.
Stop.
No,
Stop.
I would want him to tear his
You're hella
ACL
tripping.
the first week.
You're tripping. You're crazy. I will never be able to take that. You're hella tripping.
Absolutely not. If you
Stop.
if
Look,
you told
bro,
me that he would
Pinocchio's
lead me to a
happening.
Super
Stop
Bowl,
playing games.
maybe. But just to be on my team to make our team a little better, maybe make the playoffs at like fucking 10-7. No, he's a piece of shit.
Bro. Oh, bro, you know what? We probably all got piece of shits on our team that we don't know about, though, man.
And that's the thing. And
True
that's the thing. I
that.
don't know about it. And until
Doesn't make you feel
then,
better about it. But no, I was happy we got the win and the Jimmy injury happened, and now we're stuck with Mr. Irrelevant, or now Mr. Relevant, whatever you want to call it. But no, it's a tough situation, man, because it's true. The expectations are a Super Bowl, straight up, especially with the dominating defense. We're lucky that we have a great running game, but the reality is what I said earlier. I stand by it. I just don't know if the long-term trajectory is Mr. Irrelevant getting us to a Super Bowl. Is it sustainable? I mean, shoot, man, you lose freaking Trey Lance, who you were banking on, down with the shit. Freaking Jimmy gets hurt, now down with this shit. Now it's like, what do you do? What actually can you do right now? Best case scenario, maybe Trey magically comes back in 3 to 4 weeks, but it's like you come back 1 or 2 weeks before the playoffs with no rhythm. I actually, I'm one of those situations where I'm kind of going with what Fred Warner said. You know what? This guy practices against our defense every day. Just freaking roll with them. He knows the playbook. Shanahan today said in the open presser, you know what? When he came in, straight up, no bullshit, we stuck to the same game plan. And it's true. I mean, he passed for over 200 yards in the freaking, 3 quarters, had 2 touchdown passes. Just give the kid a shot, man. He was a huge high school recruit. He was recruited by Alabama, a couple of the biggest schools, and he chose Iowa State and 4-year starter.
He was good.
He was
I watched a lot of Iowa State games with him in it.
He was hella good. So at this point, it's just like, you know what? Go and make sure you have a backup quarterback. I mean, I don't want Mayfield. I hate Mayfield. I cannot stand Mayfield.
Yeah, I don't think Shanahan wants him either, honestly.
Go and get a vet, a vet that you can kind of just plug and play, worst case scenario. But I mean, Purdy, at this point, you just got to stick with him. I think we're just too far into the season to just bring in some Joe Blow. Here's a playbook. Go learn how to play with our team. It's crazy, bro. Like, we have 4 games left, 5 games left, and we just lost our top 2 quarterbacks. Like, great.
Yeah, 5 games left. You're right. 8-4. You guys, we helped you guys beating the Seahawks the other week, obviously.
That was actually a fun game to watch. I was putting up the lights that day outside, and that was a fun game to watch out there in the garage. The Raider game. I mean, I was going back and forth. I was putting up some staples and stuff, and then
Raiders in Seattle or Raiders and Chargers?
In Seattle.
Oh yeah, you know what? Well, because I kind of it's kind of weird because Sean wasn't here last week to talk about it, so it was Raiders and Seahawks. Raiders and Chargers. A little less enjoyable, right? Of course, 2 Raiders players are going to hopefully win me a championship in fantasy because Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs are absolutely insane right now. Absolutely insane, fantasy-wise. I mean, Josh Jacobs has over double points than Ezekiel Elliott in fantasy.
Yeah, just an idea where Zeke is now and Josh Jacobs, people sleep on him, man. He's a top freaking 7 running back.
Pollard has 55 more points than Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's still 9-2 or whatever.
No team in the NFC South is over 500. They pulled even 500 today with this 1-point win, barely.
Okay, why on a 3rd and 1? A 3rd and 1. This is where I think there's a fix. A 3rd and 1
fix
at midfield for New Orleans, and you have Taysom Hill, and instead you do a freaking quick slant pass, and then you punt. Bro, just run the fucking ball twice. I mean, sorry for my language, but no, that pissed me off. Like, dude, you win the football game if you run the ball.
I mean, things like that get coaches fired, you know.
How do you think I felt when the Niners didn't punch it in that day?
I get
and screwed up my whole parlay. It's like, dude, just 1 yard, dude, 1 yard, and they kicked the feet. Oh my god. It sucks, dude. It sucks.
Yes, but sorry about that. I got my weeks confused. So yes, the Raiders beating San Diego or L.A. whatever, but I don't care if the Raiders go 6-11 every year. If those 6 wins are against Kansas City, Denver, and the Chargers, oh my God, I'm happy every Sunday that happens. That the Denver Broncos still have never beaten the Las Vegas Raiders. Can you believe that with all the shit that we've gone through as an organization last couple of years, and all the complete. Oh God, it feels so good to beat those teams. Sorry if there's any Chiefs,
I don't
Chargers,
know, man.
and Broncos fans out there, but man, I'm sure you feel the same way when you beat the Raiders. I'm sure you feel the same damn way. Yeah.
For the Raiders fans out there, though, we're riding a 3-game winning streak. We got a Thursday night game coming up here in about 3 days where we're 6-point favorites. I don't like being that much of a favorite on the road. But then again,
I'm going to run your pool right now, and I am putting this. Who are we playing?
Run your ass at the Rams.
Stafford is on the IR. Stafford's on the IR.
I don't care.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
And our owner has been the biggest pimp all weekend. I don't know if you've seen our guy, Mark Davis, though.
Sean, did you see that?
He's running around. With
is he playing on player?
Lloyd Christmas is I don't know what you heard about him.
A smoke show he's running around with. So our team's kind of on the up and up right now. And I mean, if we can get this win on Thursday, which
Looking
is
it up right now.
it's very doable. That's 4 in a row, and not just that. You get to 6-7, bro. If you're 6-7, I think with some of these teams, there might be a chance. I mean, talk about Lloyd Christmas here. I mean, pun intended, right? I mean, you saying there's a chance? Could be.
Wow, Mark.
Raiders have not been good, but a little optimism here as I'm looking at the rest of the standings. You know,
Nice pull, Mark.
the Browns.
You're only one game behind the Chargers for second place, and it's favorable, man. You guys.
So here's the rest of the schedule, though. You have the Rams.
Okay, let's go. Winnable.
Could win
At home against the Patriots. It's winnable.
It's winnable.
It's definitely winnable.
It's winnable.
I mean,
it's winnable.
I was saying this at work the other week, but finally, the New England Patriots are back where they're supposed to be. The worst team in the AFC East. Thank God.
There it is.
In Pittsburgh,
It's
still
winnable.
winnable. Still winnable.
Oh, that's gonna be tough. That's a
depending
loss.
on who's the quarterback, of course, always a close game. It's never at home against the Niners, and then at home against at home against the Chiefs. So I would say
where you guys at right now? Five games. Oh God, you guys get
that's maybe
you have to win 4.
You got to win a minimum 4, and that still puts you in a tough spot because Miami's at 8 wins, second place.
That's gonna suck if we
Jets
have
are
to.
at 7
if it's
wins.
going to be a situation where we have to win against the Chiefs, like if you win, you're in, or if you win, you get some help, and it's like just kind of stringing you along, and all of a sudden we miss the playoffs by a game or two or whatever, and then cool, now we have the 14th pick in the draft, like. Cool, when you could have had the top 3 pick.
The Jets, the Browns, and the Chargers have to keep losing.
Jets, the Browns, and the Chargers.
I'm not worried about the Browns. The Browns face Cincy, and Browns are still the Browns.
Yeah, they have a
Jets,
molester. They have Chester Molester as the quarterback. So yeah, they'll continue.
Yeah, but they have been. I think they've been owning Cincy lately. Like Cincy's been owning Mahomes. I think the Browns have been owning Cincy.
Jets. That's the tough one for you guys, and even New England 6 and 6.
Joe Money's been money lately.
Joe Money's been helping me get that first place in my other fantasy league. Joe Money's the truth, man.
35 more points this weekend. Thank you.
And I don't know, man. It's gonna be the Raiders. I mean, obviously they're on the outside looking in. Is gonna be tough. I mean, you could see they're in one of those spots for me. It's not like, oh, we ended the season on a high note. I don't give a freak about a win streak. It's playoffs. That's all that matters. Like you have to get into the playoffs. That was
the goal at the beginning of the season. And it just took a nosedive. If we miss the playoffs by 1 or 2 games, what are we going to do?
It's one of those 3 games. One of those 3 games.
We're going to go back and we're going to say, "What the hell are we doing in New Orleans? Not even scoring a point. We had no business losing to Jacksonville, Arizona. Like those games where we fell behind. Arizona, we went for 2. Like that game in Tennessee, we had a chance to win.
Indianapolis. Jeff Saturday, but we lost on a Sunday.
That Chargers game, the first game of the year, we had a chance to win.
Close one. That is true. Let's do it for America real quick, guys. What are your guys' thoughts on the Cowboys going forward, man?
Cowboys are hella good. Cowboys are really good. Cowboys are good.
They got defense, offense.
This is one of the first years where I'm like, dude, no, they're good. And they might sign OBJ. No, they're
That's
good.
right.
They're real good. Like they're
wow. If they do get OBJ, that's right. That's a good.
But will they overtake Philadelphia with 5 games left to play, and they're down 2 games?
Philly's built right, dude, bro.
This is our division here on the podcast. This is your guys' pick for Philadelphia and mine for Dallas. Like we're still
remember Philly's is up 2 games right now on Dallas, so Philly has to lose 2 more times. We got to pull up the schedules. We got to pull up the schedules right now for Philly.
I'll pull up Dallas's. You guys
Philly
pull
right
up,
here.
You guys pull up Philly. I'll pull up Dallas right
now.
So
Philly, I got Philly ahead of me. Okay, so Philly coming up. We got 3 road games. This is the season right here. 3 road games in a row. At Giants, at Bears, Fields, and at Dallas. If they lose 2 out of 3 there, then Dallas may take the division.
Right. And then going forward, the Cowboys, I would say two very winnable games first, and then the 3 to end the year, not so much. At home against the Houston Texans.
Winnable.
At Jacksonville.
Winnable.
And then we have the at home against Philadelphia.
That's the game.
In Tennessee.
That could be a trap game.
And then finally in Washington.
Okay, so the Philly ends the season 2 at home, New Orleans, and Giants. So I think they have kind of the same idea there. Like there's winnable games in there, and they have like this.
I honestly think that if Philadelphia is up by a game or two after like if they're up by a game and then they beat Dallas and they go back up 2 with 2 to play, it's over. It's over. If Dallas wins that game and they they either tie or get within 1 game with 2 to play, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, and they're good. I mean, that's one of those divisions that you don't get every year. Like, damn, those are 2 they're legit contenders. Like,
Eagles already have a win against Dallas. They already have a win against Dallas, so there it is. So
26-17. That was a close game too, though. It was at home. They got to go to Dallas too. So
let's do Week 14, guys. Let's any matchups going forward. The Niners, who do they have this week?
You face Tom Brady
at home against, how they've been playing, bro. Come on, and they're only
Purdy against Brady.
It's Purdy. You know how big of a difference that, bro. The hardest position in sports. Dude,
but how bad Tom Brady and that offense has been playing. They're averaging 18 points a game, 27th in the league going into tonight, and they scored 17. Average just got lower, and they're going on the road against that defense. Which now,
Mr. Irrelevant may just go out there and freaking shit the bed, bro. Don't get it twisted, bro. He did what he did,
So you would give 3.5 points because 3.5 kind of scares me.
I just need a couple of days to take this
I don't care.
Bro. I really do.
Bro, I'll tell you this much: Niners defense can definitely stop Brady. I mean, we've seen Tampa Bay's offense be abysmal.
Abysmal.
Thank you guys. At times this year, right? And dude, they can definitely win with their defense almost, so kind of like they won that game last year with their defense in Green Bay in the playoffs. That was wild. But man, they can definitely do it. Tom Brady, obviously, I don't think Tampa Bay is they barely won. It's like Sean said, 3-1. They messed up. Tom Brady, 3 seconds on the clock, does it again. 44 career fourth quarter comeback wins or something like that.
What it was?
I think so. Yes.
Because I know they were down 10 or 13-3 at halftime, and I didn't watch the second half. And then I looked and I was like, oh shit, they won 17-16. Damn.
Yeah, it was that third down that freaking just.
Oh right, the one you were talking about. Yeah, I will.
I think. Go ahead.
Go ahead. If you're going to continue with the Bucks, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I just think Shanahan and Purdy, with not much of a playbook on him yet, I just think that if he's as capable, as I think he can be, that he has been at Iowa State, and obviously as he was against Miami, I think the Niners got a chance, man. Who would have actually thought that they would have won against Miami when that guy came in? But
Miss Purdy,
he wasn't Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, at that point, it was still a 1-score game, I want to say, and we scored back-to-back touchdowns, the Juszczyk and the McCaffrey touchdown. So yeah, it was a 1-score game, and it's true. Our defense definitely gives a big boost, but we'll see.
Right.
That's crazy. You lose both your starting quarterbacks in the same season, man. Wow.
Mark, you're a Raider fan.
You can't make that
You're a Raider
stuff
fan.
up.
What happened in 2016? The last 2 weeks of the year, ruined Christmas.
Connor Cook.
Ruined Christmas.
That's what happened.
Connor Cook
Michigan
happened.
State's finest happened.
Sparty, baby.
Stop it. Anyways, the 3 teams that Mark was mentioning, hopefully there's a very good chance that all 3 of them lose this week, as the Jets are in Buffalo, the Browns are in Cincinnati, and the Chargers are at home against the Dolphins. So, I mean, what more do you freaking need? Win on Thursday and then hope that you gain a game with all 3 of those teams? I mean, I hate talking like this because it's like, oh, here we go again, giving me hope, just dangling like a piece of cheese, and my fat ass is going to try to get it, and then, got to be quicker than that.
And you mentioned those, just winning those 2 games against Saturday and against Kingsbury and Kyler Murray, just those 2 games, that we would have been in a much, much better position right now.
Absolutely.
We wouldn't even have to be talking.
I mean,
crazy.
We might not be in a position to catch Kansas City for the division, but we have a strong hold on a wild card position.
Right. Very, very strong hold. Just those 2 games.
And I mean, those wins go a long way, right? When you wake up in the morning, 49ers players, and you see yourself 8-4, you feel a lot better than when you wake up and you're 4-8. or 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just like, hell yeah, like we're earning this shit right now,
Pep in your
right?
step.
Like, you just had that pimp walk on. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, any other games you guys are looking at for possibly your pool this week? Maybe give out one game that you're possibly looking at. Yeah, I know it's Monday. It's very early.
Oh, Cincy at home. I'm going Cincy at home.
Cincy at home
versus Browns. I think Mark is right.
Number,
Browns
minus
actually
6. They're
played.
gonna have they have to win by a touchdown.
Yeah,
I mean, it's later in the year. The cream is going to rise to the top, or the crop, or whatever the hell the saying is.
I still think Watson still needs to get back into the game shape and what. So he looked
back into a
terrible
salon.
in Houston. It's
back into a salon.
I'm with here we go. I'm with you more on the whole Deshaun Watson thing. I would never want him on my team, but oh man, the whole Tyreek thing, bro, man. The Tyreek thing, bro. I'm not saying make it sound any better. I'm not saying that any better.
It's children, bro.
I'm not making it sound any better, bro. Tyreek killed up. He came to my team, bro.
You have a child. You have a child? You have a child now. Think about it.
Because the thing is, I would look at which one's going to help me win a Super Bowl more. If I'm looking at it through a business aspect, I would never not. Hey, can I come to your team? Come on in, Tyreek. Let me open the doors for you, Mr. Hill.
Wow. Well, we know what kind of person you are. So,
I just want to know why the Detroit Lions. I just want to know why the
winner.
I just want to know why the Detroit Lions are a -1 favorite against the Minnesota Vikings.
Dude, so what their mindset is that Minnesota has one of the worst pass defenses in football. Amon-Ra, St. Brown is beyond tearing it up, and I think they're really big on freaking Goff this week. Ooh. I mean, it's funny you brought that game up. Yes, bro. I think people are just falling into it's gonna be a freaking Cook game this week, or Kirk.
Kirk Cousins, another Michigan State quarterback.
I think it's gonna be a Kirk Cousins shit the bed game this week. I mean,
that begs you to pick Minnesota, but so it's Detroit. It plays Detroit then.
10-2 against 5-7.
It's crazy, bro. I mean, 5-7 Detroit.
That right there, -1 for Detroit. I'm thinking Kirk Cousins is out, Justin Jefferson's out. I'm thinking, like everyone's not playing, right?
No gritty this week. No gritty this week on Ford Field.
No, none of that.
Oh, I don't know. All right. And Pittsburgh's -3 at home against the Ravens.
Pittsburgh, yeah, well, remember, Lamar.
No Lamar. See, that's reason. No Lamar.
And division matchup, so they play each other tough.
So is Minnesota and Detroit. I don't know.
You can't make these lines. It's at that point of the season where the lines aren't going to be all making too sense to us, man.
It's getting tough. We got Lurk boys breathing down our necks. So
where are we at right now? Does anybody have our?
I'm checking. You got Lurk boys on your ass.
I think I got 28 or 29 points.
I think
or
you have
31.
30 and then 28 for unless it changed. So Mark is in first place with 31, correct? Lurk boys 29, Sean 29. I think A-Dog, did he win that?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. I think he had Tampa tonight, or he had someone on. He was going for 4-0. I forgot what it was. But my brother is 5 wins behind Mark. I went 3-1 this week. My mom is only 6 games behind Mark. I'm bringing up the rear. I'm still 10 games out because I had a shitty 1-3 week last week. Came back and had 3-1.
Your mom has been fired.
My mom had like 2 or 3 straight 4-0 weeks.
Fire.
Yeah. So
she's been good.
So
I like the consistency from Maureen.
Right, there we go.
Bringing the heat. That's what I like to see out of our contestants.
Right. Well, everyone enjoy your sports this weekend, whether it be the World Cup, college, or NFL football. Oh, Mark has something else before we go to comics.
One last thing before we end out football, because we didn't talk about this odds, but man, your boy Caleb Williams about a -2,000 favorite to win the Heisman. I'm seeing here.
I looked at his stats, bro. His stats are
huge odds.
Even the game that they lost for Utah, his stats
have like 3 or 4 picks too.
Like 3, I think, and he's like 30+ touchdowns. Like he's that guy. He's hella good. And that's why I brought it up the other day. I was a little confused because they were already talking about his draft stats. They said this year he would be like the #1 quarterback going out.
But look at his body and how he plays and how he runs and everything. He's a running back. He is a
That's
running
the
back who can
problem.
throw
That's
for
what he-
4,000
at
yards
throwing
and
on the
30
That's
run.
what
touchdowns.
he was used for in Oklahoma when they were freaking going double quarterback.
Exactly.
That's what they were bringing him in for. But he
Oh,
can
that's
quarterback.
who he is.
Yes, they were always bringing him
remember
in.
that
That's
now.
why I was like, dude, how's
Oh,
this fool throwing so many touchdowns? But that's actually what he was doing in Oklahoma.
that's
He
who
only
that
came in for
is.
freaking running. But the
Yeah,
boy can pass.
but he's good at throwing on the run too,
He
across his
throws
body
freaking
type crap.
darts. That's a frozen
Dude.
rope,
Wouldn't
right?
say
That's like a catcher or a pitcher, or a shortstop, something like that, who plays baseball, who can off his back, because some of those guys throw just like freaking,
Like Kyler
flubs,
Murray?
right?
It was looking like that guy from Tennessee, Hendon Hooker, was going to be like the odds-on favorite halfway through the season. He was doing the damn thing, and
yeah.
man, he just tailed off at the end of the
Towards the
season.
Towards ACL.
But that's right. I mean, he missed like what, 3 or 4? Was it three games or 4
that
games
happened
now?
in Alabama
Two or three.
game or the Georgia
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, that pretty much did it for him, though. Oh, that's right. But I digress. So sorry,
Oh, no,
Mike.
you're good. I'm just getting into comic books. So as we get halfway into the episode, better not be halfway in the time, because I know we've been going kind of long, but amazing conversation so far. Want to remind everyone that we are on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at The Comic Bookies. Email us anytime you want at thecomicbookies@gmail.com. And Treasure Island Comics is our wonderful sponsor, like they've been for the majority of these almost 4 glorious years of the Comic Bookies podcast, but episode 169 is brought to you by them. Again, Alex is open Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays every single week. You can get your books any way you want. He's open. You can pull up to the parking lot and get your books, or he can mail them to you like he does for myself. And also, subscribe to this YouTube page. If you're watching right now, if you're at this point where we're getting into comic books, and yeah, subscribe to this page. Some good plans, hopefully some big plans, some more things that we're doing in 2023 will be announced. I got 3 more freebies for everyone, so hopefully I'll be having some sort of a draw for like a late holiday season. And so that's pretty much it. So let's get into the comic books like we do every single week. The first thing I'm going to do is preview some of the books that you can expect on New Comic Book Day, which is the 7th of December. Getting to the end of the year, guys. DC gives us Batman 130, Poison Ivy number 7, Batman and Joker Deadly Duo number 2, Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing number 3, and Gotham City Year 1 number 3. Marvel gives us Daredevil number 6, amazing story, I can't wait to talk about number 5, Thor 29, The Avengers 63, Miles Morales Spider-Man is back with a brand new number 1, and Captain America Sentinel of Liberty number 7. Image, a lot of Image this week. Spawn 336, Undiscovered Country 22, Do a Powerbomb number 7, Noctera Val Special, and That Texas Blood number 20. IDW will have to always shout out my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 135 is out this week. And from Boom Studios, we have Behold Behemoth, which one lucky winner won a copy of issue number 1. Number 2 comes out this week. And I don't know if you guys are getting this, but I realize I'm getting this one. It's called Know Your Station. Number 1 comes out this week. All right, fellas. Sean, Mark, anything, you know what? Since it was so long ago and I already read number 2, Sean, let's start with Damn Them All.
Damn Them All, to me, it was like a hard book for me to read, to be honest.
It's one of the ones where it's hard.
Because the language.
Right, because it's in England, right? So it's like, oh.
Okay, so you understood that. Like, that's
Right.
like, it was one of those books, I'm not even going to lie to you. I read it, and there was like many pages. I was like, okay, I'm happy I read
Right.
it. I did not understand a damn thing that I just read.
Right. And it was weird because it's kind of creating like this whole like universe for you, or it's kind of, because you're also dealing with 1, the language, and then 2, everything that has to do with the occult or magic or everything. Remember, like, a couple times they had to like, it was a whole page explaining something to you, like, oh, like, what is this summon? Like,
That's
what is
all
this
that
person?
was.
Like, it was a lot of explaining. I will tell you, number 2 has less explaining. There's like two of them. And it's only because it's like, oh, this person's introduced, so they're explaining this person.
So I need to get number 2, which I do plan on getting anyways.
I think it's good because it has some of that like really like dry humor, like people talking shit back and forth to each other because it's England. It's it's set in a bar and everything. Mark, I think it's a good story. It kind of sets itself like this girl. She is pretty much mourning and going to her uncle's funeral, right? And he's like a top occultist, right? And she knows everything from him, right? She's kind of led an effed up life, and so now that they're all at the bar, kind of a celebration of life after his uncle was mysteriously killed, right? So, and then all of a sudden, I don't even know what it was called, Sean. Like one of the summons kind of comes out of nowhere, right? And then so it's kind of an investigative thing, and it's I think it's a good story. I think it's good.
I need to read another one for sure, because I think what you said, that's probably what confused me more than language too, is some of the explaining on everything. But yeah, if you said the second one's it's more of just the story itself, it should be a little bit better for me.
The other gal, the detective, the African American lady, you get her whole backstory in the second issue, and why she is there with her, and why she is pretty much in this story. It's So you'll
good.
So you'll find
there
out.
There are a couple characters where I'm kind of like, what do they have the relevance here? But okay, good.
But yeah, no, and it is one of the ones where it's not just you're a bad guy, I have to go get you. Pew 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 pew.
Oh,
no,
it's
a complicated book to read and understand. You might have to read it more than once, but no, it's good because it's not. It's not something that we're used to reading, right? Like I don't read a lot of like John Constantine and a lot of stuff that's like of the occult and like religious things and magic and all that stuff. I don't read a lot of that stuff. So
it's probably the most different book I've ever read. I've read like some slow books and stuff, but like books where I've probably been like the most a little confusing and needing to understand. I think what you said, I probably have to read it again. I probably actually may read it again before I read number 2, because it's just different, man.
But but then again, she kind of works for it sounds like a mob boss, like Frankie and stuff. So it's kind of it kind of pulls you back in, like okay, like this is something I'm familiar with, right? Like
that's why even like the very first one, they're like kind of like in like a bar or something like that. The very first page, and like the way that like, they're talking to each other, like, oh, this is gonna be pretty badass. And that's where it kind of tails off in different directions. I'm like, what the heck is this?
Right, like everyone like this, the summoning comes and like everyone's like their glasses are being broken, everyone's throwing up. It's like what, why is it here? What is it making it do this? And so that's what is explained more in issue number 2, right?
Okay.
So like
we're getting
so sometimes an issue number 1 will pull you in. Issue number 1 for this one's like, I'm kind of confused. I don't know if I should continue pulling it. But issue 2 is where it's like, okay, more things are explained.
That's all I need to know.
Right.
I did also read Junkyard Joe number 2. You read that, right?
And so I briefly talked about it last week with Mark. I like it, man. I mean,
I hecka like it. Like freaking Joe's back with that freaking vet, and now they're looking for Joe.
Right. So, and what's funny is that I love the direction they took with him after he came back from the war, creating a Sunday like Garfield or Peanuts cartoon strip, just a Sunday morning cartoon strip.
The Sunday Funnies.
The Sunday Funnies.
Yeah.
Just here's Junkyard Joe, and he makes a career out of it, right? And all of a sudden, Joe, like the day that he's retiring is the day that he comes back and finds him, looks at his picture of like them, like his platoon or whatever. And then all of a sudden, those 2 cops get blasted. And then all of a sudden 3 other guys, those robots, they just look like faces. They look like there was actually humans behind those masks.
Those are humans.
Like where'd the robot go?
Well, it's even funny when that guy who came back, he's outside and like, oh, we're your neighbors, and like, oh, do you know who that is? Like they know Junkyard Joe from what they see in the news here, but they don't know who Junkyard Joe kind of really is.
Right. So it's funny because you introduce that kind of person, and especially the daughter that the dad says, oh, I think you would be interested in having a conversation with him because she's like an artist too. They wouldn't introduce a family like that if they weren't going to be involved in the story going forward. So maybe she sees Junkyard Joe or something in issue 3, like something happens to where they have to get involved, unfortunately. But great story so far.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I like it. I'm definitely going to be sticking with that one for a while.
All right, Mark, cut in. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, man. Just whatever, dude. There's so much to talk about, really. I didn't get my books on Thanksgiving. Picked them up, got a fat stack, read them all besides the annual for Detective.
Right.
But I mean, for books this week coming out, dude, I mean, there's some good ones, and I'll admit I'm excited. Some more than less, but nonetheless, I am excited for some. I'm gonna say Undiscovered Country. I mean, I don't know how my excitement isn't, you know, well, what I'm trying to say is my excitement isn't as big as it once was to get these books, but yeah, I'm just so excited to see what it's gonna accumulate to because it's just felt like I've been reading this book forever, and it's not like a Batman or an ongoing book like that. So
Right.
just I guess I'm just excited to see where it keeps going for that book, and just this Gotham City Year One, number 3. That's been a really good story from Tom King. Obviously, most of his stuff is that Texas Blood, dude. Really, really good. I've been loving that Chris Condon story, and just I'm really excited for that one. And then obviously Daredevil, dude. Just like the one that
Daredevil, hella good.
hella good. The one that we just read. We're gonna talk about that together in a little bit. But man, and then
Boy.
Batman also, right? We're getting 130 here with this whole fail safe. I think
130.
the last Batman, wasn't he like falling into like the abyss or something, or off a rocket, or like back down to Earth? And
Right.
but just a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of good books coming out this week. But
I'm more excited for Deadly Duo than The Man Who Stopped Laughing.
stopped laughing. Okay,
I'm more excited for the Deadly Duo.
And this is the Joker book that we're talking about here, but I'm actually not getting that one. So The Man Who Stopped Laughing really isn't as good as the first one. We mentioned it before, but I can't say that I'm too excited for it. I'm going to keep reading it. It's probably going to be 12 issues as well, but it's just, it doesn't have the same feeling as the Jim Gordon type story did when they went abroad looking for him all over the place and whatnot. But this Dark Web, Mike, you said that Alex over at Treasure Island is putting it into our pull list. Yes. What did you think? Did you guys read this, Mike? You read it? Dark Web. It's The Amazing Spider-Man number 14 by Zeb Wells, but it's spinning the dark web, so it's that tie-in.
It's kind of getting us ready, right? But so with the first like 5 or 6 pages, were you guys confused? Like, what the hell? Like, did I miss an issue?
Confused as hell.
Because like you're reading like the Hobgoblin, like the 2 different Hobgoblins, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, who's this guy?
Completely different, huh?
So this is finally what Alex has been waiting for, right? This is finally what Peter Parker did and why someone's coming after him, right? We finally get it 14 friggin' issues later. So, but yeah, I mean, this guy, what's his name? Ben something. And then this other gal, Janine, who has a mean streak. Jesus Christ, got to stab the guy in the hand at the. He's just trying, But then again, he was trying to get her caught by the police. I understand, but yeah, he goes down to. I mean, I needed to kind of reread some of those pages because like you're just so used to Peter Parker fighting Hobgoblin for a handful of issues, and all of a sudden, it's so complex of them going down to the underworld, trying to get these powers. There's those things off of the trees that she like. What the hell? So this is like an alter ego, like of Jean Grey, right? Because there's one of those pages where she looks into the reflection of the pool, right? And there standing is Jean Grey, right?
What it was the art different to you? Is that's supposed to be Peter Parker in that page that says summer at the top? It's like a couple pages in. And it's like, was that Peter Parker there? Because it is, right? But that art was just like completely different.
No, that's the Ben guy.
Is it?
Yeah, he goes that's not him. You got the wrong guy.
But the Ben guy looks different in the beginning. But anyway, okay. Because the Ben guy, he's the Dark Web Spider-Man, right? If I'm not mistaken. Sean, did you read it?
No, you're definitely right.
I'm not getting Spider-Man.
You're definitely right.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like the art was different.
It's 2 different ones. So Spring or whatever was one artist, and then Summer was someone different. Because if you go to the very first page, see Spring, it says the artist is Michael Dowling. Summer, the artist is Kyle Holtz. Fall is Terry Dodson, and Winter is Ryan Stegman. So 4 different artists on each of the 4 seasons of this issue. So it's a pretty big issue to have 4 different artists just on do 6 to 8 pages per, right? Mm-hmm. So, but the story was interesting, right? It's just like he's finally being given the power to get his revenge, right? But just man.
So, but where's it gonna go from here? I mean, this story is not going to continue in the Amazing Spider-Man.
I think it is. I just hope that it's not one of those like, if we get Dark Web, that's fine, right? But I hope it's not like we get Amazing Spider-Man on Dark Web. If it was just those two, right, that'd be fine. But I hope it's not like Dark Web Thor, Dark Web Iron Man. Like you have to get so many different freaking side issues. Like no. Just give me like just the Dark Web, right? Like the 6-issue miniseries or this event, right? So, but it was just so weird, right? Like he was down there talking to the chick, and there's a tree with all these little creatures and stuff. Like I just didn't understand it. I mean, it's a trip, and then fall the artwork looks different too, right? So, but now we have a brand new villain, right? Hallows Eve. So we have
Halloween.
so Hallows Eve,
it's like
right? So we have a brand new villain. So hopefully, Sean, might want to get that issue just for a little safekeeping, right? Keep it in prime condition, right? So then winter comes, and then Ben just goes crazy. That guy who's asking for money, which is the same guy who was asking Peter Parker for money in the first couple issues of the Amazing Spider-Man. And so finally, he eats the fruit or whatever, and then gets the power, and
they're still looking for him. They're still like that, because that dude at the end is the dude that's been looking for Peter for the money, right?
Right.
Like for his rent or whatever.
Right. Yes, exactly. So now Chasm, which that's what his alter ego's name is, or when he puts on the purple and the green suit, when he stares into the reflection he's looking at, I'm guessing that's like what he wants his future to be, right? Like Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and all those vines. And then this lady, when she looks into her reflection, it's just Jean Grey. So I just hope, like when I see Jean Grey, I just don't want anything like I have to read some X-Men shit, right? Some Krakoa. I don't want to have some PTSD and have to go back to that.
Oh, that Krakoa was tough.
There it is. Now you're talking about those tie-ins that you don't want for the Dark Web.
I don't want that. So we'll see going forward. But Alex did say, Alex is all about kind of saving us time and money as well as far as on these events and everything, all these tie-ins. So he said, there's a Dark Crisis one-shot, and he says, I didn't put that in there, but I did add you guys to the Dark Web. So he obviously thinks that we need it if we're going to continue on Amazing Spider-Man, which is fine. So, all right, I got.
I mean, I believe him. I mean,
right.
He usually steers me right in the right direction, and he will too. So check him out, Fremont, California, Treasure Island Comics.
So I got 3 more that I want to talk about, 2 DC and 1 Marvel. So let's talk about I'm going to go in order of how I like them. I am actually liking Action more than I'm liking Detective.
No.
Yeah. I'm
Action?
liking the new Genesis, the new gods. I'm liking that story with the fire of Olgrim inside that kid more than than I like this Two-Face story with Ubu or Uru, whatever. I mean, it was pretty badass.
Dr. Freeze. I mean, they had like how many villains in this?
They unleashed a whole shitload in this detective. I mean, it was a good issue, yes. But all I'm saying is overall, the arcs.
Batman's a popsicle now.
Right. Overall, I know, right? Batman's in like a world of hurt in all the issues. He's falling from the sky in outer space in Batman. In the Batman Fortress, he fell into like this never-ending, this bottomless pit in this Fortress of Solitude because he's trying to, take care of the blackout that's like, affecting the whole world. And now this one. Now he's frozen
before
solid.
The page turns, all you see is no freeze. I'm like, oh no.
Bam.
You turn him.
But Mike, Sean, don't you guys feel that this Ram V Detective is, I mean, you guys obviously didn't read the annual. I have not yet either. But I think that from this issue, 1066, I feel like it's gonna start ramping up pretty good here, dude. You got these other out-of-towners that feel like they're the ones that are part of, they want to kind of take over Gotham, and like you see how the guy and you see how the guy like talked to Bruce Wayne. He's like, oh, I really want to get to know Bruce Wayne. And the chick with the crazy eyes, she's like, there's something about that guy. I'm telling you, this story, I can see where you're coming from about it not being as good, but I feel like Ram 5, whatever, it's gonna really start picking this up.
I mean, where the I'm sorry, what's his name again? Arzen, when he approaches Bruce Wayne, he's giving him the respect, right? But then the lady with the weird eyes is like,
who is that lady?
I don't know, but she's
like the fairy godmother. I don't know. She's like his aunt or something.
But
she has like 3 eyes in one,
right,
dude.
but she's just telling him like she's of the mindset of he's like he's old school, right? He's a part of a dying age, and so they're I'm guessing they're going to want to kind of ring in a new era of owning Gotham and controlling everything in Gotham. So it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of play puppet master with everything else that's going on. It's going to be interesting to see.
2 more things with that book real quick. One, how cool was that with Gordon in the beginning? He's like, I wrapped your face up with my eyes closed because I just didn't want to know. I just didn't want to know.
Yeah.
And then number 2 is that wolf guy that tries to get that what is it, that Aza or art, not the what's that toxin that he's trying to get on Dr. Freeze, dude? Who is that dude? The
long-haired guy they're talking about.
Yeah, Batman comes in. He says the wolf of Jahin.
Yeah, I never heard of that character.
Dude, it looks like a lichen from Underworld.
He looks like a samurai or something, and then he just turns into this wolf. I don't know, but he tells Victor, "Tell me, Victor, do you know what an asthma is?" And he's trying to get this potion on him, and then Batman hits him with the little the batarang and whatnot, and knocks it out of his hand, and it ends with them getting frozen up, right?
Whatever facility that they were in, it was just it just explodes with ice, and yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think that story's going to pick up real good. Sorry, Mike. I know you were going to talk about action, and we completely already did our detective thoughts.
Oh, no.
So.
I want to talk detective because I wanted to go in order of how I liked it. So that was the least. So now I want to get into action. So action is now next. So this whole Kal-El return, so many different things, right? So many different things, just like in Detective, are happening. You have Lex Luthor working with Metallo.
Oh, that's good.
When Metallo is F you, I don't even want to work with you, and all of a sudden now he's gonna pretty much he's already done this. He's already taken his sister to jail. Don't worry, she'll be real comfortable, right? But he's pretty much not giving him a choice. And
now he's in what's this thing with Manchester Black, Mike?
Manchester Black, very interesting character. Very interesting character. I've seen him in a few cartoons, and then early in the Superman days of the Rebirth, when Peter J. Tomasi was writing Superman, he had a story arc where Manchester Black was trying to infect and to pretty much what's the word I'm looking for when they get exorcist,
invade?
Exorcist,
exorcism.
No, when you invade their mind, what's it called again?
Hypnosis.
No. What happened in Exorcist when she got possessed? He pretty much tried to possess John, but this was younger Jonathan Kent before this whole thing where he went with his grandpa and then came back and he was all older Jonathan Kent, right? So this was when he was a boy, and so it was a really cool story arc with Manchester Black. So yeah, everything going on with him. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, Lex Luthor always has something up his sleeve, right? Always.
Luthor doesn't need it Black interested, baby. He just needs him alive for a little bit longer.
But now everything going on with the whole fights that continues with Superman and the new gods, that was really cool. And pretty much all they want is the Fire of Olgrin, but the Fire of Olgrin was unleashed a little bit, and now they're pretty much telling him this is why we need it. You're going to destroy everything, right? You selfishly gave it to some child, right? When it needs to be with somebody who can actually control it, right? So,
and
really, really good.
They're after it too. And then Metallo, when he kills that guard, and he's like, "Oh, I wish it didn't have to be you, but you're the one on duty." He said he wishes it was the other dude.
That was a brutal kill in comics. As far as DC and Marvel is concerned, with how kind of PG-13 it has to be, that is a brutal kill, and I loved it.
Right, dude. I had someone ask me the other day. It's people really don't understand. They're someone asked me, they're the place where you get your comic books at, do you think they have stuff that for elementary kids or something for cheap or whatever? And I'm I mean, honestly, the kids section that I see there isn't completely huge. I think and I just told them, I was honestly, people got comics kind of mixed up. Most comics are for adults. I mean, a lot of them are just people have the biggest conception or misperception when it comes to comics, and so did I, quite
Right.
frankly, before I really started doing this podcast. I'm like, people just don't understand. I mean, they're really for adults, especially a lot of this DC stuff, man. And even I can see Marvel, Disney owned, but yes, I can see Marvel somewhat kind of trying to turn the pages a little
Marvel-
bit with theirs. We see Daredevil
Yeah.
a bit. No,
You don't
I
want
mean,
you don't want kids reading that. What's that one book you guys read? That grimy ass freaking.
oh, scumbag.
Right. I mean, when you think about it, like comic books are, I think the majority of their customers is probably 25 to 40-year-olds, you know?
100%.
That's right.
Unfortunately, most of them being male, you know. There's probably a small market out there for women, but, you know, and they probably wish that it grew, right? But there's plenty of stories that are female-centric, and that's pretty awesome, too. But yeah, Marvel needs to separate itself from Disney as far as comics are concerned. They need to have more of the, Punisher Max, Sean, they need to have more of that.
Yes.
Those books are amazing, right? They need to have a black label version of Marvel going on right now. They've done it in the past, and they need to continue with it.
I will admit, guys, back to the women writers and whatnot. Some women writers kill it, though. I love Tamaki. I love Cami Garcia, Stephanie Phillips, and this
Phillips is good.
Harley Quinn that I want to mention real quick. Mike, I showed you guys the pictures. We'll talk about that later. But man, I mean, some of these girls be killing it. I mean, obviously they read it, but I think maybe girls, there a lot of them I think are drawn to doing the art in comic books, man. A lot of these girls are great artists too, man.
Oh yeah,
So
of course.
we just don't see it all the time, but there's a lot of comic book readers that are females, and
Right.
you know, so
Yeah, no. I just said probably the majority. I'm probably
Yeah.
guessing. So this Daredevil issue number 5 was my favorite of the week. It was my gem of the week, so to speak. So Daredevil is just kind of instead of having a confessional, he's having a therapy session, right? And he's just preparing for what's to come, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Elektra.
Him, Elektra, you know, you got Foggy there, you know, you got
Yeah.
all the old school characters from, like, you know, what you've seen in like the Netflix show, right?
In the show.
No Frank, no appearance from Frank yet, though, guys.
No, not
Frankie.
yet. And that's the thing.
But we did have a Daredevil appearance in.
See, that's the
Punisher.
thing. God
Yeah.
damn it. Do I need to go and get Punisher now? God damn it.
So Sean's the only one out of the comic bookies hosts that are reading
Reading both.
Punisher. There you go, Sean. Okay.
No,
Hey,
well,
let's give a round of applause for that one, Sean. Let's go.
But
Let's
yeah,
go, yeah.
but you know, you see Stick, like they're all, you know, they're all together building the fist to fight the hand.
When they're in like that like prison, it's almost like they're trying to recruit all these people now.
Yeah.
The
they're
Mermaiden.
They're basically trying to recruit all of them, bro.
Now, Sean,
Mm-hmm.
you might recognize Mermaid.
Mermaiden. Is that how you say it? Mermaiden. or whatever?
Mermaiden. You might recognize that prison out in the middle of the ocean from the Marvel movies. From like Avengers Civil War, and like when they break those guys out of
Yes,
prison
it
and
is.
stuff.
That
Yeah.
is where it is. Uh-huh.
So that's where that is.
John Walker.
Because they actually had that
John
picture,
Walker,
like, when
U.S.
that shit
agent
showed.
from
Hold on,
Falcon and
hold
Winter
on.
Soldier show.
Yes, it is. What was his character name too?
U.S. agent.
Yes, oh god, that guy's a punk
So
ass too.
is he supposed to be like a knockoff Steve Rogers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like the
kinda.
next generation, you know. So
But he's obviously bad here.
yeah, I think he's like
he's trying
I think
to-
for the most part he's kind of a villain. He's an anti-hero. He always runs with like the wrong.
He's anti-hero.
Yeah, he classically he's with the Thunderbolts, which you'll see. I think what's that, a TV show or a movie coming out in the next whatever 18 years that MCU has scheduled for movies and TV, right? So, but Stick, Elektra, you know, Matt Murdock, they're all ready to go. They're going to take out the Hand. Now, there was one page where it's very interesting, you know, like Elektra says, if the Hand is controlling heads of state, that needs to be our priority. So, obviously, behind the scenes, you know, puppet master, so to speak, like we always like to say in these comic books, like who's really controlling what and where, like where's the power really coming from? And it's going to be interesting next issue if she goes somewhere and tries to find, you know, heads of the Hand, somewhere, you know, like a senator here or, God forbid, a president of a country or this country, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be really, really fun.
And look at the last page ends. He's in prison. My God, I can't think of this freaking guy's name is right now.
What do you mean? The guy the guy that sees in prison.
The guy you see. Oh my god, I need to get a book out.
You mean when Iron Man and
here.
Captain America say we have to go get Daredevil?
Hold
Oh
on.
no, Goldie.
Yeah,
Goldie,
yes,
the guy who was kind of manipulating everything a couple issues ago. I was like,
whole
oh, who's
time.
that guy, right? So, but he just
So I want to know what he's gonna. Yeah.
is he going to release him? He does, doesn't he? Doesn't he release Goldie? He probably does. He's probably gonna because he needs people for an army, right?
Oh, for sure.
And then sure enough, he wanted us to know.
It's one of the he doesn't want him, but he knows he needs him.
Alert the other Avengers, Tony. We're bringing Daredevil in. So now Captain America and Iron Man are getting involved in this. So this is pretty cool. It's shaping up to be an amazing story because finally I get to read something with the Avengers and it's not an Avengers story, right?
And Chip does a great job at writing this book, narrating it. Let me ask you guys, have you guys, because when it comes to Marvel characters, I'm a Spider-Man dude, pretty much my guy for Marvel, and it's kind of hard for me to latch on to a Hulk. It's kind of hard for me to latch on to a lot of Marvel characters, but I will admit, I don't know if it's because of Chip writing this book and how good it is. Have you guys read anything else Daredevil, and is it just because this book is that good written by Chip right now? Because I'm finding that Matt Murdock here is actually becoming one of my very, very likable characters in the Marvel universe, brother.
Mark, you have no idea. If you ever watch the Netflix, the 3 seasons on Netflix of Daredevil, you'll fall in love with him even more.
I think I remember, wasn't that about 4 or 5 years ago or 3, 4? Yeah, I think I remember when that series came out.
And that was the whole thing where they had Iron Fist and they had Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and they came together as the Defenders. And then you had a Punisher series with the guy who played Shane in Walking Dead. For his real name escapes me. But you had a whole Netflix Marvel universe. And then all of a sudden Disney Plus comes in and they're going to say, nope, we're going to make everything here on Disney Plus, Marvel. This is our stuff. And then now, what's this?
So you're with me. You're with me on Matt Murdock being a very likable Marvel character.
I love
Matt Murdock's
the movie. The movie with Ben Affleck kind of started it. Not as much as not as much.
That's right.
Not as
That's like 2001.
Yeah, Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner was Elektra. Yeah. I mean,
brother, Matt Murdock and freaking Daredevil show.
Charlie Cox in Daredevil, the Netflix show, did it all for me. Amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
Not even close.
Yeah, and then and then Rosario Dawson is in all 4 of the TV shows. He makes an appearance because it's all set in New York, right? So she's connected somehow to the whole universe of Iron Fist, of all the Defenders. So if you really want to fall in love with him, watch a couple episodes of that show. You'll get sucked right in. It's really good.
100%.
Because you see all these characters. You'll see Electric. You'll see Stick. You'll see the Hand. You'll see all this stuff. So it's good.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, Mike said,
just don't know much about the whole Daredevil world and whatnot.
Hell's
but
Kitchen.
Elektra seems like a pretty cool character as well.
She's
man.
Badass in that show too.
Kingpin's hella dope too. Actually, he's a good villain.
Yep.
Gonna have to do a little bit of research on this Matt Murdock character. Do you know when he originated? What year? Who created?
I think it was Stan Lee.
Oh, okay.
I think.
It'll probably say right.
I will say in the first 6 or 7 issues of Daredevil, he wore a yellow outfit. It wasn't until issue 7 or 8 where he donned the red outfit.
It was Stanley.
Fun fact of the day, yeah, it was Stan. I mean,
first appearance 1964.
Yep, that's right smack dab in the middle of everything right there. That's the Avengers. That's Spider-Man was 63, 64 as well. Yeah, it's crazy.
The legend.
Yep. Okay, so now that books are over, I'd love talking books.
I got one. I actually got. Sorry, real quick, Mike. Oh, The Human Target's real good. It's ending in about 4 issues. Guys running out of days. Christopher Chance, just real good. Just wanted to run that by you guys. Greg Smallwood, great artist, teaming up with Tom King on that book. But man, the Harley Quinn was real cool. What did you think, Mike, about when I sent you? We'll make it real quick. Harley Quinn. She's obviously
the Harley Quinn who laughs. That's right. That was crazy.
She quote unquote died. She's going around looking for her Quiller. She didn't really die. She passed out. Now she's pissed off and pretty much trying to put a hit on her. And yeah, she goes like all over like town looking for her, and then like she's like, "Who killed me?" And like the last page was what I sent you, Mike. It's like her, and it's like it looks just like the Batman Who Laughs, but the Harley Quinn Who Laughs.
pretty
So
cool.
I thought that was gonna be pretty cool. So I'm gonna have a better update for you guys when Stephanie Phillips's Harley Quinn number 25 comes out here in a couple weeks. But we'll see if there's becomes anything bigger, because we know that Batman Who Laughed was pretty big. Although is he gone? Is he done? Are we ever gonna see
I
him?
mean, I think he was somewhat defeated, right? In what was it? Death Metal, like Dark Knight's Death Metal, and then he had his own Batman Who Laughs series. I think he's been kind of defeated, so to speak, but he's never going to go away. They're always going to bring him back, for
Scotty Snyder, right?
Yep, I got it right, sitting right over there. Right. Dark Knight's no, it's Teen Titans number 12, I believe. 9.4, 9.6 graded issue right over there. So
nice.
Yeah,
CGC baby.
So there's your retirement right there.
Let's get into some of these pieces of news real quick. Some of the quick hitters. The Flash is now getting an updated. It's not actually delayed. Sorry, folks. Actually, well, not sorry, but good news. June 16th of 2023 is now the date of release. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, a fourth straight box office win. So more and more money for the MCU. More great success for this movie. I have yet to see it, but I can't wait. And what else? Just a small bit of bad news going into some, cheery news. Cheers and Look Who's Talking star Kirstie Alley dead today at the age of 71. So
cue it up,
right?
Mike.
Cue it up. It's just small. I mean, it's not like Kirstie Alley wasn't a huge. This is not a Mr. Conroy. This is not. This is not my childhood here. I watched a handful of movies. You know what? Who'd be more affected is my parents, because my parents were like big Cheers fans. So I think that they would be more, heartbroken. Kirstie Alley. I think she was. I think our generation, me and you and Sean, I think we probably know her more from like wasn't she like Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers commercials?
I was gonna say that she was like in a couple like those commercials.
She was the face of like Weight Watchers or whatever, one of those two, for a long time as well.
We knew her with dark hair.
Right.
Wasn't that Oprah?
Oprah's Weight Watchers, so she might have been Jenny Craig. I don't know. She might have been the same. I just know that know that it was like a roller coaster.
God damn, Mike.
What?
Rest in peace, Kirstie Alley, and the best thing you can come up with was the freaking Jenny Craig spokesperson.
What did I say? Mike. I said Cheers. I said Look Who's Talking. What was the one that my brother said? It Takes Two with the Olsen twins.
The twins.
Yeah. Today. Walt Disney would have turned, like we said earlier in pre-production, or maybe we talked about it in the episode. I don't know. It's been
I think we talked about it after.
We're now live for 2 hours. So, but Walt Disney's birthday is today. So happy birthday, Walt! You would have been 121 years old.
What you've created, sir, crazy.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. So we're about to celebrate 100 years of Disney, and we celebrate, sir, your 121st birthday. Allegedly an anti-Semitic himself as well, just like Kanye West. But
was he?
Yeah,
Walt?
Allegedly.
Really?
People who always try to find something negative. Apparently, he was an anti-Semite. Yeah.
Never knew that.
He gave us Pixar, he gave us Disneyland.
Let's look at the bright side here.
Yeah. Anyways, to end the episode, actually, Sean, any shows you've been watching? I've watched. I'm 3 episodes away from finishing The Walking Dead. I'm trying to keep pace with it.
Oh, there you go.
So
nice,
Walking Dead.
Nice.
I'm like 6 or 7 episodes into the newest season of Stargirl. Pretty good. Like that one is like. I always expected to start to take a downturn, but I'm like, you know what? It's entertaining. Like, it's these kids who have taken on the mantle of the Justice Society of America. And you have some of the villains from the old stories and stuff too. So it's like, I think it's pretty cool. It's kind of cheesy at times. It's definitely for a younger crowd, but 45 minutes every other week or so. I've been trying to squeeze them in. Danielle said she doesn't care if I watch ahead. So I finished Miss Marvel, and I'm now 2 or 3 episodes in of She-Hulk.
Good. Right now, catching up on some shows I know that we don't really talk about here, but I am 1 episode behind on Andor. I'm loving that.
Okay, yeah. So Andor I haven't started. I think I was going to start it after She-Hulk.
Oh, it's good. I could say it's a little bit slow in the beginning, purposely for character development,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good though. It's really good.
Either of you two watch Thor: Love and Thunder?
I did.
Mark,
I did not. That's the
the
newest
newest
one.
one.
Yeah.
I
Negative.
thought it wasn't bad. And you know what my favorite part was? Because we watched like the second half with the kids sitting there. Like Cam had just
Uh,
woken up from a nap. Maddie had just come home from school. So we're like, hey, let's watch it with the kids. Was that one of the last parts where he gave all of the kids like the power of Thor? And they were
hmm?
kicking all these shadow people's asses. I was like,
Oh, that
dude,
was
that was
hella
so
dope.
cool with the Guns N' Roses and stuff, and all the kids, kicking ass. I thought that was a
They do good with
right,
that.
yeah, they do good with that, with the humor and everything. But that was a cool part. Yeah, like not the worst of the
Movie was
MCU
okay. Some
movies.
people bashed it hella hard, and I'm just like, and I've realized when those movies get bashed, it's because of expectation that people say like it wasn't bad.
Right,
I'm not saying it was the best thing, 'cause it damn sure wasn't the best movie, but it was cool. Yeah, I mean the whole Christian Bale character, I think it was more just cool, like just seeing like the way they created him, like the way they made him look, like that was
right. And
badass.
then like when it gets bad reviews of the actual movie, and it doesn't help that Christian Bale kind of talks shit that he didn't appreciate how many of his scenes were shot behind green screen. You know,
But
like
it's just like,
it's
what
all
would you
CGI.
expect
Exactly. No,
though?
I
I
know.
mean, that's
But
a
he's coming from like shooting actual action scenes when he's shooting it as the
exactly
Dark Knight, right?
a
So
Batman movie and all that. Yeah, yeah.
so rank your Thor movies from 1 to 4.
Number one and two are the best for me. Oh no, not two. Sorry, number one and is number three the one where
Ragnarok
he
with the
is?
Hulk.
Oh yeah, one and three are the best for me.
Right. So Ragnarok's number 1, and then I agree with you. Number
Yeah,
1, just the original Thor is number 2, and then I probably put Love and Thunder over
before
the
the
Dark
one with the
World, the
sister,
one with the no, not
sister.
the, oh, that's the best one. No, the one
Uh,
with the dark elf. That one was just okay with the ether with the red.
oh yeah, yeah, that's when that Loki
Oh, one of the
dies.
many times that he's died, right? So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all I've been watching, really. Just trying to catch up on She-Hulk. Miss Marvel was probably one of the worst shows. It wasn't bad, but it was whatever. It was a waste of, 6 45-minute, sit downs.
Hmm.
And watching also the
Okay.
newest season of Hell's Kitchen. That's always a fun time. It's always a good little ha-ha.
Is it on
Oh,
right
yeah,
now?
season 21, baby. Gordon Ramsay
Oh, nice.
just talking shit to people.
Is Gordon still talking shit to
Yeah, I
people?
think they woked him up a little bit. I think he doesn't
Oh,
talk as
that's
much.
good.
He says, "Are you stupid?" or whatever. Like he yells and curses at him all the time, but he doesn't do the whole classic like, remember the
R word. The
I'm
R.
not sure if he ever used that word, but he called people fat. Like he called men and women
Oh
like you
yeah.
fat piece of shit or whatever, or like or like I don't know if. And then there was this one time where he gave someone 2 pieces of bread like this and like, what are you? What are you? And then she goes, I'm a stupid, or I'm a dumb sandwich or whatever. Like yeah, like totally like demeaning, but it's so funny. But yeah, but it's not as bad as what it was.
Oh, it's
Not as bad as
heavy.
what it was in the first like 4 or 5 seasons, right? Um, yeah, but it's still entertaining. It's still good.
I like, yeah, I gotta catch up on that, man. Shit, I don't watch it religiously like you, but just for loving him as how he is, man,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta watch
Right.
that.
All right. Well, that's it, gentlemen. Unless Mark, you have a show or movie to tell us about, any documentaries or anything. I
Negative.
started that FIFA one, like the corruption, like the history of FIFA and stuff.
I am
Like
actually,
20
yeah.
minutes into it. I didn't finish it though.
Was it okay? Or was it super
Yeah,
slow?
no, I mean it's just the creation of FIFA and like where it came from,
Okay.
and then all of a sudden, and then it goes into when they all went to court, right? In like
Yeah.
2019 or whatever, when all the corruption shit, all that stuff
With
happened,
Blatter,
right?
yes.
So
Who?
The former,
Yeah. What was his name? I was
something Blatter.
Blatter. Blatter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Set Blatter.
yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is episode 169 in the books. Thank you so much for staying up with us late. It's almost the next day. It's almost the 6th of December out here in
East Coast
in
it is.
California, the East Coast for sure. But yeah, Mark, Sean, send us away. 169 is out.
Episode 169 was fun, man. All the sports, the comic talk. We appreciate everyone that has logged in with us to hang out late, like Mike said, with us. The people that will take the time to get on our YouTube page and check us out. And, while you're there, just click, that like button, share us, keep supporting us, guys. I mean, we're constantly on social media. We have all the giveaways coming up, and it's the holiday season. A lot of good things coming up here in the next month or two. And again, support your local comic book shops if you're in the area. Like us, support Treasure Island Comics as we always do. Thank you, Alex, for all you do for the podcast. And yeah, we appreciate you guys. And to our fellow Portuguese, Mark, Força Portugal. Let's get a win tomorrow.
Best transition, brother. I was just going to say that. Yes. To everybody all over the world, to everybody that downloads this fine podcast or watches us on a fine network of YouTube television live every Monday. Thank you guys for tuning in and sharing us and just everything that you guys do for us as creators. It means a lot. But so hopefully Portugal can get a win, like Sean said, and hopefully if your team and your country is still in it, hopefully that you guys have the best of luck as well, and that
if you're Switzerland,
that is true. Yeah. I mean, can't say that I need my guys to win and then wish Switzerland luck, but I guess I'll be a good sport and say best of luck to them too. May the best team win tomorrow, man. But yes, it is the world's game, and it is the beautiful game, and yeah, Pele, sorry for him. He's kind of not doing too good as well with cancer. Like, hopefully, Cristiali, hopefully we don't have some other news here coming up in the week, but Brazil's going to play tough for him back home. And, let's just have safe holidays here, and to all the birthdays coming up this week and all the festivities in December, let's be safe and live it up and dodge COVID and the flu and all this crap going around. But let's have fun, man. It was cool. 169. Thank you guys, and thank you fans all over the globe. We love you. But take us away, brother.
Yes, sir. Two quick things. If anyone is playing this new Marvel Snap game, guys, just download it and play it real quick. This is a shameless plug for the game. It's a cool card game. I can't really explain it because it's the outro of the show, but download it and just play around with it. It's a really fun and addicting game. Also, one little piece of news that we forgot, but sayonara, thank you. Finally, Justin Verlander is out of the American League, going to the New York Mets. But for Sean, for Mark, this has been episode 169 of the Comic Bookies podcast. Thank you so much for watching, listening, supporting, sharing, whatever.